Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday night special.
Where are we? What's going on?
What time is it? Where are we? We are coming to you with a hybrid mashup episode, and you'll see a man in the lower left corner. Mr. Big Jim Oriskany has joined us on a weeknight for some chat. And because it's a hybrid special, everybody goes, oh, he's historical. Oh, no. He is the author of a sci-fi epic space battles game. So we're going to talk about
a Godzilla shirt.
Yeah. And
right.
Chris, your microphone
because of the
sounds a little off. I don't know if it's
It's
you might
me.
want to check. Might be your
I'm off.
Chris
okay.
is definitely off.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's definitely off. So tonight we're going to talk about historical, and Jim's got a lot to talk about in the summer season of SITREP. This is the final part of season. What are we? Season 8 or 9? I can't remember.
27.
Yeah. And I understand in the house, joining us via chat is one of the original founding members of the SITREP podcast, Mr. Chris Long, our Facebook social guy.
Why is everybody busting my stones in the chat? It was not my tech issue.
So we are going to come to you with a rock and rolling show, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things gaming related. So get ready, get set. Here we go.
Big Duke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on War Op. Sing it loud. Into the Romeo Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
You are listening to the SITREP podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
All right. Sorry about the spastic introduction there. Every time I hit the mount button, I'm having a stroke. Please, everybody, call 911. Every time I hit,
999 for you tough
don't
ears.
do that.
yeah, please don't do that. Every time I hit the mouse button, it would like double click. So it's been a really long week, a very, very long week. Hi, guys and gals.
What's up?
So, what's going on in the world?
Well, for one thing, there's the yappy dog barking in the background. I apologize. She is downstairs and rooms away and noisy.
Damn puppies. All right.
I can't hear her.
Okay,
well, good.
that's good.
Well, we can. If you can't, that's awesome. All right, guys. So, as tradition, let's do some hobby, shall we?
Yes.
Who would like to kick it off? I'll go first. I never go first. I'm going to go first. So, I need to pull up a page because I posted it. Oh, really?
Don't be clicking nothing. We already saw what happened last time.
I am not going through all this. Okay. Anyways, I was going to pull up my Facebook page and all that to show off. But what have I been doing? I played Rourke's Drift. So, anybody shocked? Anybody shocked at
Show
all?
of hands. Anyone? No? Nobody?
My shocked face.
Yeah.
So my son Jesse came over for our Sunday dinner, family dinner, and I broke out the World of Fun, Wo Fun minis, and we played Rourke's Drift. This time, believe it or not, guys, it's gonna. Marty, you might actually fall off the chair for this one.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Chris Long, I heard what you said. So no joy for you, buddy.
So basically, I played the Zulus this time. I let Jesse play the Brits.
What?
Right? And he was holding out pretty good.
I knew I sensed a disturbance in the force.
So that's what I've been working on. Hobby-wise, it's other than that, we had traveled some, and work has been just a pain in my rear. It took us. For all you computer people out there, we're in the process. The hospital that I work for, we're in the process of upgrading our network to a new provider, a fiber optic provider, and we installed a brand new network and all new hardware. And we're switching over from the old county-owned to our own, and it's been a lot of fun. It's gone smoothly.
It's been a word that starts with F. It's not fun. It's not that one.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to start with an H. It's supposed to be called hypercare. Chris probably knows what I'm talking about. There's supposed to be IT guys on call at all times whenever they have a big rollout like that to handle these problems. Sounds like that might not be happening.
Well, we had our IT. We had 3 of them in the building, but what we didn't know is that, and please don't flame me in the comments, but something about when they switched over, a gateway was on an old IP address and had to be on a new IP address. So our modality server, which is where all our radiology images go to, can send it out to our radiologist, and nothing was talking, and we literally had to manually upload pictures to our local computer and then try to import them into the radiology server on the other end. Anyways, way too much work. We finally got it fixed this morning.
Unplugging it and plugging it back in.
Yes.
We tried to turn off and turn on several times.
Hit it.
So, anywho, who would like to go next? Chris, how are you?
I'm good. I have done, well, let's see. I have completed my trebuchet, little one,
Nice.
Yeah.
and it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. And
Awesome.
other than that, I'm packing.
When do you move?
Wednesday, I start.
What? Oh.
Cool. Good luck. All right. No, I know you got a lot to do. You got a lot of stuff and things. So, nope, I understand. Hey, let's see. Tuffy Ears is here. Walk About Games. We got several people in the house. Marty, we're gonna finish with Jim because he's got a lot to talk
I was
about,
gonna
and
say,
we want
yeah,
to make sure we give him a lot of time to cover everything he's been industrializing in. So, go ahead.
So it's been SWAT season here, and I've been safety officer and coordinating training and whatnot for the last 2 weeks, and it's a lot of 10, 12, 14-hour days. So
Mhm.
I have not gotten a ton done. However, we've made some progress.
Well, a minute. Since you're showing off an image, let me bring you to the big screen here. There we go.
I don't know if
You're all blurry, dude. Why are you?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
It's your
He was
lighting.
born that way.
It's your lighting. Are you-
Anyway,
anyway.
so that is one of 4 Eastern forces that I am painting up for in country. My poor attempts at the EMR ratneck pattern. I did my homework and everything, and I don't think I nailed the colors exactly, but they're Ruskies. They're just here to die anyway. I don't care. So
Jim might have something to say about that. I'm just saying.
yeah, well, the rest of my guys that are going to be wearing Marpat and playing on the other side of the table from them might have something to say about that too. So I've got those guys in progress. I finished up some scatter terrain for my my table that I built back in January, February on the stream.
Mhm.
Because I'm letting one of the guys that runs in-country games here locally, that's like an organized play volunteer, borrow it for a session this weekend, and I wanted to be able to fill out the table. So
Very good.
bunch of trees, some rocks, that type of stuff. I already have buildings and cars and Humvees and all that jazz. So got all that boxed up and ready to go. I'm going to hook up with him Saturday morning and pass that off so he can do a demo event essentially on Sunday.
Very
And
cool.
then Sunday afternoon, I'm teaching. What are we doing Sunday, Chris? Basing?
Basically.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about basing miniatures and like flocking, scatter terrain, and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Very
Hey,
cool.
since you brought it up, you might as well mention what Tony is doing and where.
I have no idea where he's doing it, and demo games is all I know.
He's doing it at
I don't know which one he's doing it at.
Games Plus in Des Plaines from noon till 6.
Mount Prospect.
Mount Prospect.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, guy that we met at Little Wars, and he's like the local goon that is running, like I said, organized play in this area. Not like tournaments or anything. They're not that far along, but gaming events, if you will.
Gotcha.
So, cool dude. Unfortunately, I can't go because I'm teaching. I'm facilitating an event because it's at the same time, so won't be attending this one, but I look forward to getting in on some here shortly, and I hopefully will have more forces ready to go here shortly once my schedule starts to slow down next week a little bit, and I can get some time to paint because I've been pretty done by the time I get home.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yep.
Yeah,
Understand.
anybody who had known you in high school would be surprised that you would be anybody's choice for safety officer.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also be surprised that I'm training the SWAT team, not running from them.
Right. Anyhow, Dawn.
Well, since it's a hybrid show, it's probably okay to
Yeah.
reference what I've been up to because it has not had anything to do with your historical side of the channel. I know, shocking.
As the biggest fan as you are.
I know. No, it's been all magic all the time for
Okay.
me here
Yeah.
in this last week, especially because I'm revving up to have our grandson here. So Chris will be practicing more magic. So next time we get together with you, he can run over you with that as well.
He
But-
already does.
I know. Well, you know, he can always do more. So I've been tweaking the decks that I have going. I built a new deck, and then I've been playing a lot of arena and doing the same thing there. So
I think you need to watch him. I think he's double dealing.
Well, he learned from the master, so
But hey,
Awesome.
that's it for me.
That's it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sir James. Hit it.
All right. So what have I been up to lately? We had some 15 millimeter gaming in Vietnam, and to sort of piggyback what off of Bill was saying a second ago, shock horror. Played the Zulus at Rourke's Drift. My God, how dare you or whatever. At Xuan Dai in Vietnam, a little place called Go Noi Island. The little village is called Xuan Dai. It was U.S. Marines, 2nd of the 7th, up against a mix of North Vietnamese Army and VC Main Force Battalion, and we just rolled the dice to see who was playing who. And sure enough, I wound up playing the Communists up against the U.S. Marine Corps.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So, and then on top of that, I damn near won that game. In fact, it came out to a draw. So I had to go home and sacrifice a
Oh no! Oh
squared away.
no! You had to sacrifice what?
A chicken to Chesty Puller.
Okay.
Did I cut out on audio there?
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, we did that. We've been doing a shit ton of gaming. We ran 7 days at the River Rhine on the west bank of the Suez Canal. If anyone in the chat or here on the team hasn't checked out that game, that table actually looked pretty sweet. A lot of people think of the Arab-Israeli wars as like this, big tank battles on these open deserts. In the 73 war, the Yom Kippur War, once you cross over the west bank of the Suez Canal, put it to you this way, the Israeli tank crews called it going to Vietnam because the terrain over there was so thick. There's a huge series of agricultural projects over there. Did it really look like Vietnam? Of course not, but that's what they're going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
We've been building some Vietnam vehicles. I've got some of those big gun trucks that you saw in Vietnam. I'm taking a lot of the M113s that I had from my IDF force, and I've been all in 15 mil. So I got the leftovers from that, and I'm devoting that over to my Vietnam force.
Nice.
So I bought 3 packs of 3 from Old Glory Miniatures. Used 5 of them to pull the full platoon for IDF and 73. I used leftover for to bulk up my Vietnam force. That project is still ongoing. It's kind of on pause now because of what Bill alluded to before. It's just insane as far as the stuff that we got lined up coming out for almost until November, and we'll get into what's coming in the future. One guy I did want to call out for was my friend Blair Fenning. So made a new friend on various Facebook groups.
Nice.
And during our Gepard emergency hobby stream, if anyone saw that, it was like, oh, I've got a modern Bundeswehr game, the German army game, in 7 days to the River Rhine. I have a 7 days to the River Rhine game featuring the Bundeswehr in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be facing Heinz. I have no air defense vehicles. I don't have any of those Gepard with the twin 35 millimeter radar
Right.
control units. So I sat down and kit bashed one almost from scratch. I think we talked about this earlier
Mm-hmm.
on an earlier version. So in the middle of that stream, Blair reaches out to me and he says, "I'll just print you out a couple if you want, and I'll send them up to you." I was like, "Wow, that'd be
Nice.
awesome." And yeah, I got them, and I've had mixed experiences with 3D printing. I've gotten some really shitty ones, not to put too fine a point on it. I've gotten some really good ones in the wrong size.
Mm.
So I've yet to fully drink the Kool-Aid when it comes to 3D printing. I guess I'm old-fashioned or something. I don't know. But finally, I got it right, or somebody got it right for me.
Good.
And those are now built. We had the stream on that, building that. They're now primed and based. So yeah, just wanted to shout out to Blair, who's also helped us out in some other ways by not only getting my Bundeswehr back up to speed, but sending a crap ton of 50 cals, which you'd be surprised how fast you run out of 50 cals. You build all these tanks. And,
only a country for a 50 cal.
I got like 20 of them now, and some of them with the gun shield, some of them without, so I can build like the ACAV M113s and all that stuff. So yeah, a lot going on there.
Nice.
And the last game we ran most recently was a theoretical what-if game. If current conflict in Ukraine expands, which of course nobody hopes it does,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of imagining it if it does. Basically, I want to run Ukraine games, but a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of the places where we cross-promote, have a bit of a moratorium on Ukraine gaming out of respect and sensitivity and so on.
Sure.
So we're doing like Ukraine adjacent. Like this isn't technically the Ukraine war. This is if the Ukraine war expands. One of the places everyone's afraid it might expand is into the Baltic states.
Mm-hmm.
So the Russians have that little spot over by the Baltic coast, the Kaliningrad enclave, and they might try to hook up with that by punching through southern Lithuania. So we had that. It was kind of billed as a bridge too far, the Russian edition. So the Russians go in there with their Hind helicopters. They drop off a bunch of their VDV air assault guards, and they've taken the bridge. They fought off counterattacks from the Lithuanian National Guard, and now it's up to, the Germans are responding. The Russians are rushing it with their tanks, spearhead elements of a guard tanks brigade, and it's all about which force is going to reach them first. Are they going to hold the bridge? So on and so forth.
Right.
So yeah, that game turned out a lot better. Me and Mark won that game.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been super busy, and that just catches us up to what's going on now. I'll hold off on what's going on in the future till later in the stream when we get to that part.
Okay. Sounds
But
good.
it's been insane. It's all of May and all of June are getting ready for July and August, because July and August are going to be off the friggin' hook in more
Nice.
ways than one.
Very good. All right, Marty, you have news because we have news.
I have no news because I have been slaving away. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that off to SITREP.
Then no music for you.
No music for you neither.
Does that mean I get the sexy British chick talking about me, or I guess not?
It's on the other soundboard. Sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
We'll bring it back. I promise.
I'll just watch a James Bond movie with my eyes closed. Where it's just the whole, half of the script is James. That'll hook me up for the night. I'll be all right.
Perfect.
All right, Dawn, you have some news? You do.
I do have a few things.
Yeah, bring it.
So one of the things I thought was really interesting.
And this one's gonna hit right in the feels.
Yeah, we well, which thing are you talking about? Because I'm going in the order I have
That
things
one.
written down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking lately about how we've been seeing companies and stores getting out of the business, closing down, whatever. Another one this week. So Knights of Dice. So over in Australia, they're Australian,
Yep.
right?
Yes. Yeah, Melbourne.
I love their MDF terrain. Like, he has made some awesome
Mhm.
stuff. And he dropped a video a couple days ago and just said he is burnt out and he is taking what he calls, a real job outside of this business.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But what I did really appreciate about his story, though, is that he's doing it because he is feeling burnt out, but he wants to find and reconnect his passion for gaming and for
Yeah.
hobby. because he said all he does all the time is this MDF terrain business.
Yeah.
So now he wants to get back into sculpting and designing and playing games and making videos and content. So he's kind of coming at it from another vein, but after I think the end of June, maybe middle of July, that's what it said. Get anything you want ordered in before then because it goes away.
Which
Yeah,
is sad. I mean, really is. They make really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's having the fire sale. He's been hanging out with Trent from Miscast a lot recently as well.
Yeah.
I know that they've been collaborating on projects and whatnot. I think Trent's been trying to figure out how to sculpt and cast his own stuff, and Viv's been helping him along.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. So another one bites the dust.
Yeah. Well,
that video, if you haven't seen the video, when you talk about hitting you in the feels,
Yep.
watch the video, particularly like 2/3 of the way through. There's video from an episode that he never aired where he was the one where he was having a bad week.
Yep.
And somebody bought him a coffee.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy's literally in tears. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how much, just stress and emotion and everything was going on with that dude. And I've always enjoyed his stuff. He was one of the dudes early on that a few years ago when I got into this that I followed and kind of checked out his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just really enjoyed him. He seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
He's just got that nice personality. It definitely carries over great in his video content.
Yeah.
I'm so used to seeing him bright-eyed and smiling, to see him just look, just heart-wrenchingly beat down. I mean, he did not look good in that video.
Yeah.
And that particular portion. And then as he says, I'm just gonna ramble along here.
Yes. Yeah. His stream of consciousness.
Yep.
And away they go.
And away we go. You got something else for us?
Well, you know what you're excited to talk about?
What am I?
Old Hammer.
Old Hammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. So Games Workshop has announced officially they're bringing Old Hammer, Warhammer Fantasy back to life.
The old world. It's Warhammer the Old World.
Yes,
It's
Warhammer
not
the Old World.
technically called Old Hammer.
Well,
but-
whatever. It's Warhammer Fantasy / Old World, whatever. So that means the Bretonnians are coming back, the Army of the Dead's coming back, the Elves are coming back, the Dwarves are coming back. So, that's all that good stuff. So, yes, Chris, that's a hammer. Congratulations.
Is that an old hammer,
But
Chris?
is it an
It
old
is.
hammer?
It is.
He's here all day, folks. Yeah.
So
Don't forget to tip
Bill,
your waitress.
out of all that old hammer stuff, are the Praetorians the one that you're looking to get into?
The
or
Bretonnians,
that
yes.
you like?
They're the ones that look like, old armor, the big flourishes and their lances. And
Yeah, that's why I asked.
between them and the High Elves, those are probably the two that interest me. So, I mean, I'll be honest, Lord of the Rings is still number one when it comes to GW for me.
Yeah.
But fantasy, if it's going to be done right, I did like those miniatures. So
Mhm.
we'll see. We shall see.
So I have a quick question though. So scale wise, what does this look like relative to Age of Sigmar? Mini wise.
I'm assuming they're roughly the same scale.
I would presume so.
I
Yeah.
would think so too, but
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah.
I don't know that they said anything specific.
Let's go to our
about
expert
that.
panel, shall we? Chris, Tuffy, can you weigh in on scale?
Yeah, what have you heard? But I didn't see anything specific on them saying that it was going to be a scale or a scale change or anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
same
there's
as.
Chris weighing in
Okay,
with his same
thank you.
scale as Age of Sigmar.
That was
See,
pretty
we have
fast,
to-
especially with the latency.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. Nice.
So I have to wonder if I could make an army of Ents, the tree folk,
yes, you probably
and
could.
bring it over into that game, even though it's not a recognized faction. But I'm
Well,
sure you
it's
could
an old
sit it-
faction.
it-
I mean, they had Ents in the day.
Yes, but it's not. That's not one of the legacy factions that they're bringing rules for.
Eventually they will. They will. It'll be part of the Wood Elves or something like
It-
that.
It just gives you time to put your army together.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, and you see where I'm going, Chris. You'll appreciate this, right? So trees, brown and some green stuff on it. Like I'm fairly confident that I could actually do something that would look nice on a table and not be too tragic. So
You know what? Just go to the model railroad store and buy them already done.
they're not
those
the same kind
aren't
of tree.
ents. Those are trees.
I was gonna say,
Railroad trees
we're
is
not
not
talking
gonna
about actual
translate.
trees.
I could see him going to the Hobby Lobby or something, getting that bag of pine trees with the white snow on them. Here's my ent army.
Hey, you know what?
Proxy.
They're painted. They're painted, right?
Oh my gosh.
Put a
that's
pair of
Put some,
googly eyes on them, you're good to go.
God damn it, Marty! You beat me to it. I literally had my hand up. I was going to say, fix some googly eyes on that. Some bitches.
All right. I challenge you, Chris. You have to do a googly eyes army now.
Oh
You
my
have
gosh.
to. Uh-oh.
Oh, Marty's like on it.
Speaking of
Which
which, did you see the googly eyes Abrams tank?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Actually, I reshared that and tagged Marty in it.
Uh-oh, here it comes. Wait a minute. Is this the same googly eyes you had on that one camera that you guys were walking around?
He's got a little
That
something.
was the whole pack.
Those,
Yeah.
those are ginormous. Put those
Oh, yeah.
googly eyes on some teeny little trees to look like space creatures.
It
Crazy.
would probably
Hold
fight
on,
the hell out
this
of
is
the
about
enemy.
to turn
I'll
into
say
a
that
hobby
much.
stream.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
So
that's
I am
crazy.
thinking, you know, going off the
Someone's accusing you
reservation,
of
but
thinking.
like for, I know, but like for these live podcast live streams, we should all just sit around and do some painting, hobbying, whatever, little projects, nothing big, as we're talking, because people like to see what you're doing, and
Why
we
not?
might actually motivate ourselves to do something other than Jim, who's always motivated to do stuff.
I was going to say, we've been doing that on Wednesday for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like tires,
You
tires
did a
and
great
tracks, basic stuff.
I
I'm
mean,
not doing any more
seriously, it's
airbrushing on camera. 'cause,
if you
oh
could
my
do
God.
a Wednesday night, just sit down at the table and just wax lyrical. Thank you, Warren, and just work on painting a figure or building. Jim's building some chain link fence with barbed wire on it or whatever. Then yes, the paint chat. Thank you, Chris.
Yes. That's the
Our
one.
social director has requested the paint chat.
We could do that.
So anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris, we've been doing that. We just haven't had the whole. The difference is we haven't had the whole team doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah.
it would be because I mean
You know, I
it's
think
great when we
would-
can bounce off each other and make fun of Chris. So
Okay, because you're talking too many Chris's.
no,
Yeah.
you're the only one that's
No,
on
no,
camera,
you're the
Chris.
one. You're,
Oh no, but
it's you.
Chris is like, yes, paint chat. And they said,
Hey, I would love to get Chris back on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, send him a link. Log in. Let's go, buddy.
Come on, Chris. We always want that
All right.
Canadian perspective.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Last thing I had,
Yes.
Lord of the Rings related. So
Yes.
RPG, they do have 2 new books.
I
new
got
books.
them.
Do you now?
I do.
Yeah.
I got the new 5 edition Lord of the Rings set that came out from Free League Press. And on top of that, Free League Press for the One Ring game, which
Mhm.
I also own the new
Mhm.
starter set. Surprise! Has 2 new books out for Airbor, I believe it is. Isn't it
Yeah.
Airbor?
Yep.
Erebor,
So-
yeah.
So I'll be ordering them. Don't tell Dawn, okay?
Shocked.
Yep.
This is
Hey.
brand new information. Oh my gosh. Late breaking news.
hey, speaking
you
of
got?
news, Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast
Yes.
have said that starting this summer, all of their D&D books are going to be 20% more
Yeah.
expensive.
So every book that costs $49.95 will now be $59.95.
Oh, that's gonna help them solve their issues.
What
with,
is that all
They
about?
are on a roll with public relations
Yeah,
this year.
apparently.
2023 is a banner year for them.
There's a lot of people having a tough time with advertising.
Yeah. Well, I who's
None of
really
them are
sitting
raising
back
their
going,
prices,
yes,
though.
thank you very much, Hasbro Wizards of the Coast.
They did
It's-
have a good movie.
Pathfinder?
I like the movie.
It's all the people
Yeah.
over at Paizo going,
Yep.
thank you, thank you,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Pathfinder's coming out. I think
Yeah,
they're coming out with a
like,
new edition
Come on
too.
down. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And if
Yeah.
you do want any books, buy them now.
that
Yeah.
or just go to Pathfinder. Pathfinder's
right.
actually a very good game. So
Mhm.
So I
oh,
had
here we
my-
go. Here
I
we
had
go.
my
Everybody,
hobby
want ready?
contribution.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh my god!
Oh
Show
my
that
God.
again, Marty.
We
Hold
have
on,
to play
hold on.
that
I
now.
want to see. I want to see a point cost. I want to see a stat line.
They're
I wanna
not
see your numbers.
self-adhesive.
I
And
wanna
the,
see your
the glue
numbers.
is barely tacky, so I lost an eye. Hold on.
You'll
Jim-
poke your eye out,
Jim,
kid.
there could probably be like specific maneuvers where if the eyes are looking left, this happens. If they're going opposite direction, this happens.
Or
Yes.
roll
Hey, hey,
d6 before every
it's
activation.
distributor.
And if he
Turns
rolls
out you can't
odds, one
sneak
of
up
his
on him.
eyes has fallen off. -1 to
Yes.
hit because he's got no 3D vision.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, if an
Oh,
eye
nice
falls
balls
off,
off.
then
You can have a pirate tree with an eye patch over one of the googly eyes. Like there's
-1 to hit
options.
for no depth perception. Other than that, you're fine.
All right. Well,
That
that's
went on an interesting
and,
tangent.
and I've got hundreds of them.
well. Do you remember? Was it last year's Little Wars where you guys put the googly eyes on the camera? So when people were being interviewed, they're looking at
Yeah,
the camera.
that's
And
that
I'm,
same
I'm
pack.
sitting back
It-
editing, and I'm looking at the video, going, "Why are those people looking so weird?"
Hey, but they looked at the camera.
Yeah.
If it's dumb and it works, it's not dumb.
You spend 20 hours watching a 20-minute video and editing, you notice everything.
Yes, that's true. That is so true.
Oh my god. Anyway, let's talk about
What-
the
what-
future.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
But
Chris.
you did leave the googly eyes on the camera.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Why you break what works?
Right?
The
Marty
future.
and I were trying to get a rise out of you, and you just ignored it.
Hey, when I'm in the game zone, man, when it's work time and it's video time and it's convention time, am I fun to work with, Don?
No.
Um,
No.
there was the epic freak out at Gen Con.
Oh, what epic freak? out.
Yeah, let's
No,
let's
tell us.
not.
I'd like to relive that moment.
Why are you
Yeah.
re-traumatizing her?
No, it wasn't traumatizing for me. It just was. Everybody was all over the place. It was like herding a bag of cats, and
Uh-huh.
no one was doing what they needed to
So,
be doing. And
preference.
he
Who are we
literally
talking about?
went drill sergeant.
Who are we talking about?
Oh, it was some of our friends
It
from
was
across
Justin and
Sam.
Sam and Ben, and I think Gaz was there too.
Yes,
So, they're all wanting to go off and
it
do all this
wasn't
stuff.
everybody.
It wasn't
no,
everybody.
but it was.
We love all of them dearly.
not working.
But when you have a whole bunch of people who have ADD, Chris, and they all want to like herding cats. I finally came up the stairs after we missed something,
He
and
flipped out.
ooh, it was ugly.
And Gaz was like, "Dawn, let's take a walk."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, I think I bruised a little bit of British proprieties and senses there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how to handle the crazy American who was on fire.
Yeah.
So,
They're like, so that's what a drill sergeant does.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Are we ready for the future? Jim, bring us to the future, sir.
So in about 4 days, we are going to roll out a pretty awesome piece of content. I want to also shout out to my friend Damon Brentnall, who has hooked us up with a staggering
Thank you.
with a staggering album of photos from the recent Partisan Wargame show in Newark, UK. Some of these tables, guys, just wait till it comes out. It's just really a glorified slideshow, but it's like 170 photos of what went down at the Partisan convention. And just because the SITREP brews are in moderns, there is a table there. One tiny spoiler alert. First of all, Damon and his crew of the Derby, let me get this right here, Derby Wargame Society, put on a great Barbarossa table. Eastern Front. Once you put something on for the Eastern Front, you're already going to have the Oriskany vote there. But after that, there is a table of the Israeli raid on Entebbe, July 3rd and 4th,
Oh, nice.
1976. In 28 mil.
28.
wow.
Yes.
28 mil. There's an Air France 727 on the table.
Nice.
and Not one, not two, 3 C-135 Hercs on the table.
Ooh, that's a big
Along
table.
with half the Ugandan Air Force. Remember, they had to blow up all the Ugandan fighters
Yeah.
on the ground. Looks like some MiG-15s and MiG-21s. Make sure they didn't just take off and shoot down the Hercs. They're loaded up with the flying back to Kenya of all places. But they did that shit in 20 mil. I'm sorry, 28 mil. It looks like. Yeah, these are some enormous tables and some enormous miniatures, and I just saw like the size of the table, and of course, the table looks good, so it's not just big.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can put 6 sheets of plywood together.
Nice.
I don't even know how they move some of the miniatures in the center of that table.
I do have one question about it.
Yep.
Do they have a Charles Bronson figure?
That's no. First of all, why is Charles Bronson in a?
He was
Israeli?
in the raid on in Tebby.
Yeah, but
the movie.
that's like cultural.
He
That's
was-
like cultural appropriation, man. I mean, come on, man.
Oh.
Cancel, unsubscribe, refund money.
But a bump.
Damn.
I didn't know he was Israeli. I didn't even know he was Jewish. I mean, what's he doing with that entity?
Didn't he play the one major that got killed? No, which one? I can't remember who
that's
played him. But anyway,
There was literally they only suffered one casualty.
Yeah.
And he is the older brother of the.
and worse.
Oh, I am a little off on my current affairs in Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu,
Yes.
either the current or recent prime minister of Israel. I think he's
Yeah.
been back a couple times. His older brother.
Okay.
Jonathan Netanyahu was the only fatality, at least something for the Israelis. They did lose a couple hostages, and this is all in part 4 of the Alp Center series. If you can get through the sound issues on those early episodes, sorry about that. And then one other guy was paralyzed from the neck down. A bullet went through his neck and cut his spine. But he technically survived, but yeah, life-altering injury there. But all the terrorists were, of course, killed. They don't even know how many Ugandans were killed. And, of course, the Ugandan reprisals against the Kenyans for helping the Israelis out. The Kenyans, that's one part of the history that never really gets mentioned. The Kenyans wound up paying kind of the real bill on the success of that raid. But anyway, that the partisan content is coming out this week. After that, we're going to have some Sanvit in 15mm. That's Big Battle of the Bulge game, the 7th U.S. Armored, the Lucky 7th, up against some pretty badass German units. And then a little later on, the beginning of June, we are going to have the largest Panzer Leader battle literally ever played, at least I've ever played, where we do all of Omaha Beach, full platoon level, no shortcuts, no approximations, no abstractions, no nothing. The game table is like 100 by 60 hexes, and it's got something like 300 or 400 counters on the table. It took 25 hours to play. So we'll be going over that to commemorate. That'll be probably June. Well, I don't have the calendar in front of me. It's like June 3rd and June 7th or something like that. The Wednesday and the Sunday and Wednesday straddling actual June 6th. And that's gonna get us through most of June. I think Bill's got some stuff coming out in June as well, near the end of June. That's to give me some time off.
Yep.
To 1 week off to prepare content for. Good God. The 80th anniversaries, the 50th anniversaries, and the 30th anniversaries just like hit us like a tidal wave. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 pieces of content just for Kursk. 80th anniversary of Kursk starts technically on the 4th of July, really the 5th of July, 1943, so 2023. We're going to start off with the big push of Cherkaskoye, or at Cherkaskoye from the Großdeutschland Panzer Grenadier Division. I'm literally basing the infantry for that game as we speak. That's going to be a big game of battle group on a 48 square foot table, 8 feet.
Wait a minute. What did you say? 48-foot square?
48 square foot table, 8 feet by 6 feet. Yeah, it's got like 300 infantry on the table, and we're going to get at least 40 or 50 tanks.
How are you going to reach the middle? You can do Mission Impossible or something?
That's 6 feet. You can reach the middle of a 6 foot table.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean we do it all the time. So it won't be that big of a deal.
Very cool.
The Battle of Poniri. So that's on the southern shoulder of the Kursk salient. I won't go into the whole dynamics of the Kursk battle. People who know. The Germans are attacking from the north and the south. They're trying to pinch off a big bulge in the Soviet line. So I wanted to get something for the southern shoulder. I'm going to handle that. And the northern battle, we've already actually filmed. It's already been played. It's already been filmed. That'll be coming out in mid-July. That's the sort of the end of the German offensive in the north. This is, I mean, the reason Kursk is so important, again, I won't go into all the details, but it is, by really any realistic measure, the largest battle, period.
Yeah.
It's the largest single engagement of human arms in the history of our race. It's nothing else comes close. Especially if you do it the correct way and you include the Soviet counteroffensives that were part of their operational plan and thus they're part of the battle. You end up with something like 3.5 million men engaged in not even a campaign, in one single battle. It's pretty insane.
Damn.
And yeah, it's literally the biggest one there's ever been.
So you're painting all 3.5 million figures?
Well, all the figures are painted. I just have to base them on the right units because my guys aren't based right. And
Are you doing 1-to-1 scale there, Jim? 1-to-1?
no, it's all going to be in 15.
Well, I know, but is it one miniature per guy? So millions and millions.
The little battles that we're doing, the little engagements, yes. At least for the big miniature games, because we play Mark Ritchie's 15mm Tactical Combat. That is a WYSIWYG TLOS game. Same with Battle Group. What I'm doing for Cherkaskoye is taking Battle Group and sort of streamlining it, making like a hacksaw Battle Group kind of a situation. Because if we played this in true Battle Group, we'd be here till friggin' Christmas. Again, so we're doing that in like a Battle Group light kind of a system.
Yeah.
So Paniri includes the Battle in the North that's already played. That includes those elephants that everyone's read about. I'm not going to lie. Those things were fun to play. So stay tuned for the video on that. Their speed is not even 8 inches. It's 8 centimeters. And then if you choose not to fire and you put the heel to the steel, they move a big whopping 13 centimeters, which is like 5 inches. So the miniature is like 5 inches long. It basically moves 1 miniature length. At the same time, I mean, my opponent Mark is literally throwing every shell on the table at me. I'm getting hit with 76s, 57s, offboard artillery. Everything's just bouncing off. And yeah, I had some thick boys in that battle, that's to be sure. So stay tuned to see how that one turns out. And then the granddaddy of them all, usually considered the largest single field tank engagement in human history. You had a grand total of 10 divisions on a single battlefield, most of them armored or at least mechanized. Bill, you and I have taken a little bit of a nibble at this in past years.
Yep.
Prokhorovka. We're going to be doing that also in, we're doing that in what I'm going to call Panzerpool, because the way that's going to be another 8x6 table, and I've got a 6-foot stick with, it's like a 1x1 piece of molding or something like that, and it's going to be like literally, okay, here are hash marks for German armor as far as ranges and chances to hit. Flip it over to the other side. Here are all of the Russian tanks. Side 3 is German artillery and small arms, and then Soviet small arms and artillery. And you literally kind of put the point on your target, and you put your thumb on your firing unit, kind of like you're shooting pool. And wherever your thumb is, that's your chance to hit. Roll the dice, hurry up, D6, D6, D6. The entire game is going to fit on half a sheet of paper.
What?
And the reason it's going to be that simple is because it's like open invitation. If you're in our club down here in South Florida and you have a T-34-76, bring it. I want to see it on the table. We are going to take a 48 square foot table and we are going to carpet it in tanks. I want to have at least 200 or 300 tanks on the table.
Wow.
If possible. So the game system has to be like tournament participation game level simple. It's got to be like just chucking D6s and just blowing up tanks. Because, I mean, 3 SS Panzer Grenadier divisions, an entire Soviet Guards tank army, which included 2 tank corps, 3 mechanized corps, 2 Soviet Guards airborne divisions were already holding the line there. It's like there's literally 10 divisions or divisional equivalent units on that table. And a commander who was silly enough to get up in a tree with a pair of binoculars probably could have seen the whole thing. I mean, it's not like one of these like Normandy style like operational engagements. It's one battlefield.
That's crazy.
It was insane. Yeah. So we're going to definitely take a swing at that. We've got, again, part of those Soviet counteroffensives that are part of the Battle of Kursk, no matter what you read in a American or British history book. That game's also in the can. Pyotr and I did that in Panzer Blitz. Speaking of Pyotr, talking about another team member that we need to get back on the channel.
Yes, most definitely.
One of these days.
He's been busy though. He's been all over the place.
Well, he finally took a vacation, so
A real one?
yeah.
Did he stay home?
Vacation. No, he didn't stay at home. He let's just say he went west instead of east.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So,
All right.
Yeah. Another game we already have in the can related to 80th anniversaries is British paratroopers on Sicily, the first armored, including our friend Lieutenant Colonel John Frost. He is on the table. That guy, man. By the end of that game, I hated
Frosty.
John Frost because he was like a +3 to the enemy's command. I was playing the Germans on that one.
Yeah.
Again, stay tuned to see how that one comes out. Mark's got another game coming up.
Well, we know he lives. I mean, he goes to Arnhem. Oh wait, that's in real life. We don't know how he ends in the game.
No spoilers. I'm not going to say anything. But
and that's why
when the guy
we play the
gives a
game.
+3 to everything within 16 centimeters, you gotta kill that guy. I was like, I don't care if we have to,
Frosty.
So some Big Red Run is coming up. Big Red 1 is also involved in Sicily, of course. That game is coming out again, 80th anniversary. And then into August, we'll be recording in order to have it recorded, edited, and then rolled out in time.
Yeah.
30th anniversary of Gothic Serpent,
Yeah.
Battle of Mogadishu, comes up October 3rd. Yom Kippur War 50th anniversary. Bang! Right after. Oh, I just killed my.
Uh-oh.
I try to be all dramatic, and I try to be all
Let's just put
dramatic.
it
and I
this
kill my
way.
thing. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong camera.
Yeah.
All right, I will just go ahead and re-aim.
The
it first.
Mossad heard he was doing some secret Israeli stuff, and they had to.
Oh no!
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Well, I fixed my camera. I will just go ahead and keep yammering real quick.
Yeah.
And right after that, like literally the very next weekend is 50th anniversary of Yom Kippur, the biggest of the Arab-Israeli wars. So it's
Jim.
like the biggest firefight U.S. forces have been involved in since Vietnam. Let's see if this thing's ready to turn back on yet the right way. Here we go.
Hey!
So the biggest battle ever, the biggest tank battle, the biggest single field battle, biggest of the Arab-Israeli wars, the beginning of the attack on Fortress Europe with not one but two games in Sicily, the big Soviet counterattacks heading down toward Belgorod and Kharkov, ironically where we're seeing a lot of fighting right now. Slightly different context. And then in case all that wasn't enough, we're going to be spending October gaming, recording, and editing so that we can present it early on time in November. 80th anniversary of Tarawa, the first big Marine invasion in the Pacific, in the Central Pacific, I should say. Marines have, of course, already been involved in places like Guadalcanal and Bougainville, New Britain, New Ireland. Now they're actually starting the actual drive for the Marines, which is going to be the Central Pacific drive. And I mean, anyone who's read anything about Tarawa knows how that little party went.
Right.
So badly that that's the thread that creates the U.S. Navy SEALs begins right there at Bloody Tarawa. And we talked about that in our Op Center series. So I'm literally busy until November.
So I do have one question or request. If you could find free time in any time in the next,
there are a couple empty weekends in there.
Jim's like,
it sounds like
What
we're
is this free
due
time?
because of the anniversary for Mogadishu, a transit game, maybe in there. You know, we did the what did we do, Jim? We did the
Benghazi incident.
We did Benghazi, but we
11
also
September.
did in September. I mean, if we have time in September, we could always do the transit game, and that was in, when was it? 2011, right?
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
2012, sorry.
2012. So we're
Yeah.
21 years, 11 years, 11 years, right? 11 years. What year is this? I don't even know. Anyway, or we could do the game you and I did. What did we use? Did we use Valor and Victory in Mogadishu?
Valor and Victory Mogadishu has been done a couple times in Valor and Victory.
Have we
I
done
was
it?
going to do it again. I
Yeah.
did it once with my friend Alex. I definitely remember. It's one of our most popular videos ever.
Yeah.
We did it with...
I did it with you once.
yeah, you did it with me once, but the one that for some reason really took off, Dylan,
Yeah.
over in Australia.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, those Australians.
it's the
Ever
armies are
since
built.
the Great Emu War.
Oh no.
Hey, just so you know, sorry
I
to
am so
derail
going to
me.
make a graphic that every time we bring up that, an emu is going to race across the screen.
Illinois
with
has-
I
with
kind
the
of have you.
50 cal.
I kind of have you beat on that.
Oh,
Kind
Okay.
of. Dylan and I, because it's like, oh, I'm, U.S. Marine Corps. He's Australia. When was the last time the U.S. Army and the Australians ever fought? Of course, we never have, except we kind of have. Every 2 years, they do they do exercise Talisman Saber.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marines and the Australians, fight in like some sort of simulated like NTC kind of thing. So we did a Panzer Leader game based on one of those exercises, which was kind of fun because it was like, hey, no one's actually dying or getting blown to, bloody salsa or anything like that. After the battle, everyone has a big barbecue on the beach and, it's all fun. And make fun of the Marines who literally lost an entire platoon of Amtrak's fell off the LST right at the beginning of the game. So he had fun with that. But I had an emu platoon counter in Panzer Blitz made up for him. It had a B armor class for bird, 0 range. It had to be adjacent to attack you.
Melee weapon only.
Yeah, melee attacks only, but like -4 on the dice for close assault tactics, and -3 for any Australian morale checks.
That's
So
funny.
you got to look for it, but it's in the stream. Dylan didn't think it was too funny, but the rest of the audience did.
So we in Illinois currently have an emu insurgent, and I say that because in Central Illinois a couple weeks ago, there was an emu out doing its thing. Nobody could capture it. Made news for a couple of days. If you read the story that goes along with it, the farmer thinks it got out last September.
Jeez.
It's a crafty emu.
This thing's been running around for
And
damn
nobody
near
reported
a year.
Hey, I wonder if it's the same one they saw down in
Tennessee. That the police cars were chasing down the country road. Yeah. There's
crazy,
a guy. Isn't it?
There's a guy down there in Southern Illinois and in that area. I can't remember.
He went out. He's got his coffee this morning. He goes out for his early morning. I'm gonna let the birds out and hang out. Yeah. All right. Speaking
So he
of
was
future
hanging out all
projects,
this time. They never captured him.
They still haven't caught it.
He's hanging out in the brush with DB Cooper, man. They're never going to find him.
did they ever catch that buffalo up north in Lake County? The one that was running wild, that escaped from a farm? That's right, Chris. America.
I don't think they did. I don't remember them saying they ever caught it because I know that they had tried to corral it into a spot.
I'm his biggest cheerleader. Bring the buffaloes back to Illinois. Let them run wild.
They couldn't get to it, so then they tried to go in after horseback, cowboy style, and it was gone. And I don't think they ever recovered it, to be honest.
So you know how Jim was talking about he's going to take a weekend or so off. I think it's June 25th, Jim, if I'm not mistaken.
Whenever's good for you.
Yeah, whenever's good for you. Just let me. June 25th works really well for me because it gives me time to go. Hi, honey. How are you?
Oh Lord, this sounds expensive.
Actually, it's not. It probably won't cost us anything but a tank of gas. I would like to produce for a Sunday episode a walkthrough of the Shiloh battlefield because we're only an hour and a half away.
That's fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yes, SITREP Productions will do a battlefield walking tour. I'd really like to play a game in the parking lot, but I think the Park Service would probably frown upon that. They don't have a sense of humor, by the way. Have you seen that they're actually charging YouTuber producer people at certain parks fees now to film, like Yosemite and Yellowstone and all those? Rocky, the Grand.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Yep.
you have to get a permit to film.
I'm pretty sure we paid our dues on that stuff. Like 1776, and then later on when we created the national park system.
So
I'm just saying.
No,
I really would like to.
Funding, that's before their funding was slashed. But
so I would really like to do a battlefield tour, if you will. No one in the chat caught the DB Cooper reference.
Oh yeah,
DB Cooper
Got
reference.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we got it. Sorry.
That's what I said in chat.
I also caught the Rage Against the Machine reference. So
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I did not catch the DB Cooper reference. I wasn't really paying attention. Not that I wasn't paying attention to what's going on. I got too much stuff I'm trying to concentrate on. So stuff will fly by. Yes, anybody need $1 million check signed? I'm fine. They try to do that at work.
Hey, right here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Whenever a Risky Jim is talking, SITREP 6 is not paying attention. We've all known this since 2019. It's all good.
Damn.
Well, it's just like one of my department managers came to me with a blank PTO slip, and she goes, "Can you sign this?" And I went,
No.
"No." But why? I said, "It's not filled out." "Who is this for? What do you want?" "But I'll fill it out later." "No."
Oh,
Here,
no.
let me give you my checkbook or
We
credit
know
card.
how
Here.
this game's played. First of
That's
all, I'm going to
literally
run 1,000 copies of it.
It's literally a
Then,
blank check.
Exactly.
'Cause
So
the
anyway,
PTO is money. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally a blank check.
so I would like to do the video on Shiloh. So when Joey's here, we'll go down to Shiloh and do a walking tour, and then I want to tie that into American Civil War General, the online game I play. If I can't get the WoFun guys here in time, I'd like to use WoFun guys. Chris, they're amazing. They really are. It takes an hour to punch them out, put them on the stands. They're painted, they're assembled, bada bing, bada boom. You can play.
Yep.
6,000 dudes. Right
6,000 dudes right there.
Yep. Yeah.
And
We
maybe do the Battle of Shiloh. So either we'll do it
there. Ooh, that'd be cool.
in a video game or we'll do it. I like the video game because it really shows what Shiloh looked like from the best of their historical research during the time, or we just do a tabletop, one of the smaller battles of Shiloh. I didn't realize where I live in Tennessee now, we are surrounded by Civil War history.
The
It's
whole
just
Western
freaking
Front's
amazing.
out there.
Yeah. So
Johnston, that's where U.S. Grant got started. So you're heading down towards Vicksburg and Murfreesboro. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Mississippi River.
Yeah. And
Winfield Scott's strategy was cut the Mississippi and blockade the South, and it'll take 4 to 5 years to win the war.
Yeah.
And everyone laughed at him as a doddering old man. And look what happened.
Exactly.
How did they win the Civil War? They cut the Mississippi River, they blockaded the South, and it took 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, so they didn't have the industrial might to support themselves.
Call him Nostradamus. It's almost like really old generals should be listened to. Like they tend to know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So that's future project in June. So
that's awesome because we do not do enough Civil War.
No.
Once in a while, I slap the American Revolution once or twice. We did the closest thing that I've done to Civil War, I think last 4th of July weekend, because we always do American Revolution on 4th of July because cliche. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I still need a rematch.
July 1st through 3rd. There's also the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
So I actually had the old Avalon Hill. I'm not going to take it down because I'll tear down my whole setup over here. The old Gettysburg Avalon Hill board game from 1952 or whenever the hell it was.
We
really,
should
really
do.
Old game.
We should do a battle from the War of 1812. Since we have a Canadian theoretically on the team, he can play the Canadian, British, French, whatever the hell they were in 1812.
We lost all those battles. I don't want to fight the Canadians.
We don't know that.
I've said this. I do know that.
You know that. We don't know that. We all were taught we won. The Battle of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's way on the other end of the country. When it comes to Canada, 1776, or 1775, 76 twice, 3 times in the American, 3 times in the War of 1812. It's Canada is like the Afghanistan of the North. No one survived. No one invades that place and walks away from it.
They only
You
burned
hear
down
that,
the
Chris?
Capitol
You're the
once.
Afghanistan of the North.
Right.
What was that, Chris?
Have you ever seen the mosquitoes up there?
I mean,
right? They'll carry away small children.
Yeah.
In 75 and 1812, we tried to invade that place 5 times, and 5 times we went home with our asses in the sling. So, I mean,
we don't talk about that. We only talk about the Battle of New Orleans, why we have a song and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
that's all we talk about.
Taught me my history.
And the John Wayne movie. Okay, that's all we talk about.
Welcome to the club, Chris. Welcome to the club.
So, hi, Dawn.
What's up?
Now this sounds.
You didn't think we were just coming here to talk historical stuff, would you?
Secretly, I was hoping not, but
So, as y'all know, we have another channel we are branching off. And let me see if I can show you a picture.
So you guys are going to go on a vacation to
Look at that.
realms?
Look at
Hey,
yeah.
Marty,
know what?
what's
So-
going on with
What
your
the
hand?
hell did you do to my hand?
Okay, first of all, I didn't do anything to your hand, jackass. That was the way the image is. So it's literally like it was on an angle cut off on the edge of something. So I just edited it in.
Yeah, okay, not tell the truth. There you go.
Actually, you were probably giving somebody the finger. You had to edit it out.
Right? So SITREP
that could be.
podcast, Other Realms. So Jim is our historical guy. He's pretty much going to be the meat and potatoes of the historical channel, the original, the OG SITREP. And I will still be assisting with that, and I'll team with it. But he's going to be like the driving force. He already is. Let's be honest. He's the driving force. If you look at the video numbers, it's Jim. We're the comic relief. People, when they want to learn history, they go to Jim.
When people want to see someone fall off a chair,
They go to Marty.
Steps
Chris
up.
Long.
Yeah.
Chris Long. He just said he did it.
So
Hey, there's no pictures, so
Yeah, you do it
according
on
to Bill's
camera.
rules, it didn't
Yeah.
happen.
that's right.
That's why he won't appear on camera. Okay.
So on the other side of the coin, because all of our lovely fans and community members out there not only play historical games, they do as evident by Discord channel. If you look at our Discord channel, the projects and everything, there's a ton of stuff that's not historical. Like Tough Ears does a whole bunch of 40K stuff, and I mean, and then Jim,
Great
like I said, Jim.
Some great Star Wars stuff lately as well.
Star Wars, yeah.
So Shatterpoint's coming out. So hopefully we'll be able to do a review for you guys on Shatterpoint on the other channel very soon. But Jim, I'm hoping you've done Sunday shows of
Stop hitting
Dark
the
Star?
table. for
Dark Star,
crying
yeah.
out loud.
Thank
Science
you.
fiction.
All I could think of was Battlestar, and I'm like, it's not Battlestar Galactica.
It's
the
kind of
best
close
show
to
in the
Battlestar,
70s,
but
but it wasn't that one. So Dark Star. So I'm hoping we'll see more Dark Star material at some point from Jim on the other channel. So Chris is doing Stargaming. But yeah, Jim, if you guys don't know, because it's been a while since we've had that discussion, Jim is not only prolific in producing video game videos, not video game, but historical wargaming videos, but he's a very prolific game designer, rules writer. He's actually written a set dedicated to just SITREP Skirmish, right? So we've highlighted that rule set in those games several times. That was the greatest episode that's ever been on this channel, bar none. The Miami Vice SITREP Skirmish game.
that's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
If you don't come to us for anything else but that one video, it will make your life.
Yeah.
So everybody's just shaking their
And
head.
you know
going,
what? For
We
the record,
also did
I
the
really
18.
enjoyed that one. See?
Yes, you guys did the A team too.
We also did the
I
18. So
paid
now the
Dun,
counters
dun, dun.
now the counters and virtual figures are drawn for both Miami Vice and
Are we gonna have a mashup?
Miami
crossover?
Vice and 18. They can fight each other.
Oh my gosh, that would
Oh,
be pretty
man.
epic.
Or
And
it could
for
be
our,
Tubbs gets captured like he always does, and Crockett has to go find the A team to rescue him.
It's because that shotgun only holds 2 shells. I keep telling them to carry extra shells for that street howitzer.
Okay. Well, we already know that Marty is Murdoch.
I mean,
Yeah, he is kind of crazy.
I don't fly, but I'm willing to try.
And for some reason, I think Bill is bad attitude.
What?
BA.
I pity you, fool. You ain't getting me on that plane. Anyway,
Good lord.
but yes, so he's also a prolific game designer, rules writer. So very fortunate, and he wrote some scenarios for a video game.
Oh
So
yeah,
cool.
the Stalingrad scenario pack
Yeah.
actually got published
Yeah,
with
he published and everything, and he even
Matrix.
does a shout out on the interview or when they did the announcement. The people who was that Slytherin Press.
Yeah,
did the-
Slytherin, Yobo War Games, Matrix. Yeah.
So we could say we're published.
They're published. The name's right there in the credits.
Yeah, so that's awesome. All right.
It's Jim Johnson with the Jim Arispian Johnson with the SITREP podcast.
Yeah,
The
awesome.
team's in there as well.
Yep,
Cool stuff.
it's all good. So, what are we going to see from you, Dawn? Because people have, and let's be honest, people come to see you.
Well, I don't know about that, but
They like to hear us, but they want to come see you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
everything else. Like I know we mentioned it before. I'm really excited about getting back into playing Malifaux.
Mhm.
So definitely gonna do like a jumping back into the hobby, like from ground zero. Where do you start? How are you gonna approach it? Put things together, paint it up. I'm gonna paint. God help me. I'll apologize now for what it looked like, but I'm gonna give it the old college try. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And so there'll be miniatures games, board games, card games,
Yeah.
all the things.
So Dawn and I have been doing a lot of Magic the Gathering
Mhm.
Arena, which is the online version of the card game. I like it because I'm learning the mechanics. It's because it actually kind of guides you through the mechanics versus just playing it on the tabletop where you may not understand the mechanics as
I
well.
do miss
And
the
then your
physical
grandson smoked
interaction,
the
though.
crap out of you.
So, but yes, we will probably have our own version of a magic show.
Mhm.
I'll be wearing a top hat
Right.
and a
be
magic wand and rabbits
yeah.
and scarves.
One of those little canes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I
flames
was
and
going to say,
saws.
but before
Nothing
we
up my sleeve.
Oops.
before we get too far off the topic, speaking of accomplishments in the industry, Dawn, don't you have a Malifaux figure that either you designed or was commissioned for you or something like that?
I
That
well,
was
I had,
actually
it
Gaz's
was
game.
for Mythos. Yeah.
Mythos, okay,
Yep.
Yep.
wrong game.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. Jezebel
Yep.
is still out there, and yeah, Gaz wrote rules for her to sit in the game of Mythos, and that was really awesome. And you know what, Jim? Something else I was thinking about on Other Realms, I would love to do a little more work with you in the way you produce art, because that's always
Okay.
been my passion in
Oh, look, there's
how-
Jezebel right there.
Yep.
Here, all of them are. I'll bring the screen up bigger so
in
everybody
how
can see.
the things that I absolutely was drawn to when we were working with Beasts of War initially
No pun
was
intended.
games are really cool, but I love the art, the
Very nice.
concept stuff that goes into these games. And so that I think will be something we'll bring more of too.
Yeah, when you did that one, I think it was a Wednesday night episode where you actually hand drew out some characters.
Mhm.
Dawn's
with,
like, "Oh my
Twilight
god, he can!"
2000.
Yeah, Twilight 2000.
Yep.
She's like, "Oh my god, Jim can draw." No, I mean, like, no,
somehow
really draw.
I did not know that was like what you do, and it blew my mind. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So
AI free. Still one of the old school.
Yeah. So no,
Awesome.
what I'm thinking is going to be really awesome is we're going to take a look in the Discord at
Yeah.
the things that people are doing and what people are working on, and it will be everybody's opportunity to, hey, I'd love to see you guys do some coverage of whatever, and then we'll bring it. I'm always looking to learn new things and try new games, and
I also have that starter set from Mythos.
Yeah.
Gasket. Yeah.
Yep.
They're all primed.
The OG set.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're all primed. The crab
Nice.
guy is done. But there's a bunch of the other ones that are still a work in progress, and
Mhm.
yeah, I want to play it.
So Mythos is still in publication. It's
Mhm.
owned by, is it TT
TT
Combat now?
I think. Yep.
Has it? It's
Yeah,
either
they-
them or War Cradle. I can't remember which one of the two.
I think it's War Cradle, and
Is
they
it?
updated the rules.
Okay, then War
Okay.
Cradle.
Because they've added factions.
Yeah, so you can still get it, but that's how we met Gaz. Was that
Yep.
we were at Salute one year, and Dawn had been talking to him behind the scenes, when we did news pieces, and there you go, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were at Salute, she actually got him on video, and we created a thing there, and then during the next year, you were working with their artist Shane,
Yeah,
right?
Gaz connected me with Shane, who was doing the artwork for Mythos at the time.
Yeah.
And that was kind of how I had that whole.
So if you go back to Beasts of War, there's actually a video series on how the character was created in the process that we went through to actually take it from theory to paper to full color images to the background story to getting it made, packaged, and delivered.
It was very fascinating. I had no idea how much went into all of that.
Yeah.
And it's funny for the complaining that we can do sometimes as consumers for what things cost. Once you see the time that goes into each of those things and to produce one miniature,
Yeah,
it makes a lot more sense. Doesn't make it feel any better on your pocketbook sometimes, but that is why things cost what they cost.
and a shout out. So Shane Cook was the artist. So
Mhm.
Gaz, and company at Mythos,
Mhm.
and then Shane Cook was the artist. And then, believe it or not, guys, we actually had the miniatures made by Protos.
Yeah.
Miniatures.
Yep.
So the guys that had the disastrous Kickstarter of Alien.
AVP.
Oh,
AVP.
Yeah, AVP back in the day.
So, but they were wonderful to work with.
They really were.
And they would communicate back and say, "Hey, we want to do this. How about?" And they designed the packaging, the actual retail package.
Mhm.
And honestly, I was like, when they sent over the proofs for the retail package, I'm like, oh my God, how much is this going to cost us? And it really wasn't not that expensive. Also, let's just put that. I think we ordered 100 units ish, 150, 100 units, somewhere in that ballpark. And we sold all but like 3 or 4 of them. And that paid for our salute trip the next year. So, plus, our production costs. So thankfully, so yeah, those are a one run off thing. So if you have one, count yourself lucky if they have a collector's item. So.
Right.
And Pros did a wonderful job. The miniature itself is beautiful.
So other realms is fantasy or
it's fantasy, sci-fi.
What are you guys covering? Okay.
Everything that's not historical.
Yep.
That's literally in the title. We're not historical.
We are not historical. Okay, so
we're
a risk getting not welcome.
No, because you are a sci-fi author.
You created Darkstar for crying out loud.
I do some science fiction. You guys mentioned AVP. Speaking of things that we could do on the new channel, if you
your Halloween special.
We did number one, the Halloween special. That was Gothic horror.
Yep.
With SITREP skirmish, like invading a Russian bio lab that had become like this Cthulhu nest of God knows what, Eldritchian horrors. And then for this past Halloween, we did Tuffy will remember this if she's still awake. We did. She actually participated in that game.
Yeah.
We actually did Aliens in SITREP skirmish. So there's things on the. There's definitely things that we could bring to the new channel almost right away. All the assets are already built.
And go ahead. Sorry, Jim.
Real quick note about what you guys were talking about as far as how much prep work, lead time, behind the scenes stuff goes into creating even the most basic stuff. Some of the artwork I do away from the channel, like I have like other online sort of personas or whatever. There are occasionally commissions I do. And a commission will take 20 hours.
Yeah.
And your average beginning graphic designer, production designer makes at least $40-50 an hour. So just one piece of full color, like the cover of a book, or you open up to like one of the chapter headers, that piece of artwork costs somebody at least $800 to $1,000 just for the image. If it's an exclusive content, if that artist isn't allowed to shop it around to, other platforms or stuff like that. So a full scale art, any kind of publisher is going to spend at least, 10-20 grand, especially if it's a nice, a nice big hardcover book with glossy images and stuff like that. 10-15 grand minimum, just on the artwork.
Yeah.
So you buy a book, it costs $50. Ouch. At the same time, I can tell you, like I said, I've been in the production of different games, different books that have come out, sometimes under various pen names, but definitely A Risk in the Gym was with that Stalingrad release for Valor and Victory. Take your first shot. Long story short, is really
we still got to get a graphic.
They've been in our videos, so in fact, I'll send it to you. I'll send you the PNG. It flashes up in our game videos.
Perfect.
I say it 3
that way we
times
can flash it up.
And it's 1 shot glass the first time I say it. Long story short, take your second shot. 2 shot glasses. Long story short, take your third shot. It takes up the entire screen.
Slow down for crying out loud.
So that's awesome. I think the format for the Wednesday night show would be just sitting around the table. We'll chat about whatever's gaming going on, and just like I said, we'll work on whatever.
Yep.
That'd be cool. A couple of Wednesdays are kind of chalked off for July.
Yeah. We'll figure out a schedule. We'll figure out a schedule. So it'll probably be a cross-platform. So people can work on historical, they can work on sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. We'll just cross-platform it on the 2 channels.
My stuff usually comes out every Sunday.
Yeah.
And this won't be a common thing. I would go crazy, let alone
right,
for no other reason. But July, there aren't enough Sundays in July. So there's 8 pieces of content. I'm serious. There's 8 pieces of content coming out in July.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Between 2 Cherkaskoyes, 1 Paneri, 2 Prokhorovkas, that's 5, plus possibly 2 battles of or 2 games that take place during Sicily. That's at least 7. I almost did the little Vulcan thing there. There we go. There's at least 7, probably 8 pieces of content coming out just in July. So
nice.
July is like a black hole
You,
That's
you
cool.
started rattling off battles, and I don't know why, but I got hungry and started wondering what was for dessert.
Yeah.
Felt like I was at an ethnic restaurant.
I thought maybe it was an alphabet soup maybe. Cherkaskoye, Verkopenye, all these Russian names. Yeah.
Each one of these guys, yeah. Well, set us up.
Very cool.
Hey, Bill, you know, for
Yo.
inclusiveness, you need to type in everything he's saying at the bottom.
No. That's what closed caption recording thing he did with Dubber is.
I'd like to see
YouTube
everybody
does it.
keep up with
That's
that.
not going to get Cherkaskoye correct. It still can't get a risky Jim right. If you put on one of my videos and you put that little closed captioning on there, what I always get is a risky gym.
Oh,
Like a fitness center in a bad neighborhood. Don't go there. You get hepatitis C sitting on the equipment. It's a nasty, nasty gym. Don't go there.
oh,
It's
Oh, I'm
risky
so
gym.
finding it.
that needs to be
I'm finding a
t-shirt.
Russian dialect voice that can do that,
Hold
and
on,
that'll be
alright,
his new
alright,
intro. Oh, Risky James.
I was gonna say,
Are you going to give me a
Oh,
sexy Russian
Jay.
babe? Hell yeah,
British,
man.
with the British voice
Look
to
at
call
that
you
action.
a risky Jim.
So
Oh Lord.
Chat GPT that. It'll work out. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So what
I'll
else you
take
got?
a sexy Russian babe over a sexy British babe.
Ooh,
no
see, I
offense.
told you he's a closet Soviet.
Yep.
No, because I think there's a hierarchy. It goes from Japanese to Russian to British.
Yeah. So it's Japanese first. You can tell he's a Marine. Totally Marine.
What happened to America?
Like not America. All the women I know in America talk like that. That's the problem.
Jen, he still likes you.
Me and my three sisters are coming over. Between the four of us, we got one full set of teeth. You'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
And
back
there
to-
goes our American members. Thank you
Ay,
very
ay,
much
ay.
for joining us tonight on the air.
They already hate me.
Hey. Back to that risky Jim.
Oh yeah. The thoughts and comments produced by a risky Jim are not the thoughts and comments of the SITREP
Absolutely.
Podcast Productions crew. If at any time it offends you, I'm sorry. Please write to a risky Jim at sitrepodcast.com and
Contact
we'll not get it to him.
Jim at don'tgivashit.com.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
Lord.
gosh.
Don't forget to double click and hit enter.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. Well, the reason we're doing a Wednesday night show is obviously this weekend coming up is Memorial Weekend here in the United States. Are you guys doing a thing on Monday, parade or anything for the VFW?
We have
Two memorials.
we have a ceremony in our local cemetery where we have a unfortunately large veteran population that is interred. Friday night we do flags in, and we put a flag on every veteran's grave. So that'll be happening tomorrow at 5, and then Monday morning at 9 we do a ceremony there because the folks that are interred there are from all sorts of surrounding communities, and then at 11 o'clock we do our VFW ceremony at the community park, where we have we call it a peace monument versus a war monument,
Right.
but it commemorates all of the wars and our nation's veterans who have served in.
Yeah. So,
And then we're coming back to my house. Then we're coming back to my house and we're grilling out.
And unfortunately, this will be the first year in many years that Dawn and I will not be sharing Memorial Day with y'all at your house. It just because in the infinite wisdom of somebody in my corporate board, they decided to have a board meeting on Monday.
It's that's wacky.
Yeah. So
Is that spelled BORED?
no.
So, I mean, is it like an in-person meeting?
No, it's Zoom.
I have Wi-Fi.
I know, but I also have to work the next day.
drive. Yeah,
I
we
still have to
still
drive to the next day, you know.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure I have all
Joey's
my
old enough.
to drive.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, Trooper, he's only 10, but he's going on 16.
Get him a couple of hours of road time on the straight
It'll be
part.
11 then.
Well, the car kind of drives itself. We just put on the cruise control and said, Joey, just hold the wheel.
Yeah.
That's all I got to do.
Yeah, it'll stop if something shows up in front of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that's why we're doing the show tonight. And because, we wanted to do a hybrid episode. Other things is...
Other realms.
Yes, other realms, but other things we're hoping to try and get back to doing some convention coverage,
Yes.
like
yes.
Gen Con.
Okay.
I'd really want to still do Historicon. I really do.
That'd be cool.
And
If we're
you know,
going to Gen Con, we need to like plan that.
well, yeah. I
Same
mean,
with
it might be
Historicon.
too late to get press
Time's
passes
running
at
out
this
for
point.
Historicon.
So,
What was that, Jim?
I'm just saying time's running out for Historicon.
well, time's running out for everything this year. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, they've already opened registration up for events
Yeah.
at Gen Con, and they're pretty much already gone.
Yep.
It's probably too late to request press passes at this time, and there's no way we're going to find a hotel within 30 miles of Indianapolis. So we'll have to plan for the next year. And Origins is in only a few weeks anyway, so we're already missed the boat
Yeah.
on Origins.
Yeah.
Drive your trailer up.
I don't have a truck big enough. I need at least a 350 dually. At
Okay.
least.
You have time to go buy
Big
one.
trailer.
It's a 42
You
foot.
towing 88s
Technically,
with that
with length overall, it's 44 feet, 14,000 pounds. So, it's almost a semi trailer.
You have time to go buy one.
Shut up, Chris.
Stop encouraging him, Chris.
Dawn, I just want to go.
I know. Yes, you're
said,
good. Thank
I
you,
have
Marty. You're
not-
good. Chris is the instigator.
We
this time.
we have not encouraged any of this.
That's got to be the new mascot.
It was not us.
No.
Jim's just shaking his head going, what the hell
Yeah,
did I get myself
what
into?
just happened? Yeah.
All good.
And why is that the leader of Dawn's army?
Got to
Fear
put a
me.
little general's hat on him with some stars on his, well, I was going to say shoulders, but
I don't know. I could like attach some epaulets, maybe.
Just some twig
Maybe.
arms. It'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the theme music would be Rockwell. I always feel like somebody's watching.
There you go.
He's got his little shoulder boards going. He's got his little beret going.
He's
His
ready.
STG
He's ready to
44.
party.
Badass. His tiger stripes look a little nappy. I may have to change his pants one of these days.
All righty then. So there will be no podcast this Sunday. Obviously, we're doing tonight in lieu of Saturday, but we'll be on regular schedule. Be on the lookout for the official launch of the Other Realms. Look out for Jim's ton of material up over from now until Jesus comes back again.
Basically
So
it's going to run from here to November, but it's only really thick because Kursk and Sicily happen at the same time.
yeah.
So it's like anniversary stacked on top of each other. July was a very busy month in World War II. July of 43.
And if we can get Chris to come back on the show, I mean, even if it's just the Wednesday night hobby once in a while, so because the dude is a producing machine,
Right.
I mean, outside of Jim, he puts the rest of us to shame. So.
If we let him talk about his hobby stuff, that is the first 3 shows. I mean, he's out of control with the amount of stuff that he is printing out and buying and painting and
Well,
building.
he's still
and
got
everything else.
the modern mini 3D like business going, doesn't he? Or
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alex is running that, right?
Yeah, I
His
think
son?
his son's running that. So, yeah. Dawn, do you have any final thoughts before we close out the show today? We're not going to hit the 2-hour mark today, guys.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
we could try. We could try. On something that you need to have on your schedule to do
What's up?
is you need to get Marty involved in Magic the Gathering with. What do you mean no?
Oh, believe me, it's on the list. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Marty. We
Lord
all
of the
voted, and
Rings.
there's more of us than there is you two. So
Lord of the Rings. You have to. You have to.
Well, we can
bring
do it virtually. We can do
unboxing.
it. Arena, it's free.
Yeah.
So,
Unboxing, and you can explain to some of us what the hell are all the different versions.
yep.
That's
well, that'll
the
be coming.
whole-
We're going to do a.
There will definitely be a subset.
There'll be a
I'll hit
noobs.
some theme.
versions of the game system.
Yeah, well, every set that comes out, it's a different realm, world,
Different
plane,
themes,
whatever they
different-
call
But
it.
even just
All that.
from the basics, probably
Yeah.
like a
Yeah, well, what's a
beginner's-
draft pack and what's
Mhm.
one of these other packs, right? Where you buy two
Set
packs
boosters.
of cards, set
Yep.
boosters, and I'm like, you need
Chris?
you need a
What
result.
version,
Look, this
What-
is a
what
hybrid episode,
version-
Marty.
What version of the game covers Rings of Power, or should I not have brought that up?
I know,
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh my God,
I
that
just
show
bought the
is
stream.
awful.
45 more minutes. You're welcome, everybody.
So, all right.
My work
So
here
my
is done.
former boss Scott
Logan
down
is
in the
rolling
Florida
in his
Keys
fucking
said he
grave.
might be on the show tonight,
Hi,
or at least
Scott,
watching.
if he is.
Scott, your favorite show he just brought up,
Oh God.
Rings of Power,
And he just signed out. Yeah.
and there's just a mushroom cloud over Key Largo right now.
I saw that movie.
Mushroom Cloud over Key Largo.
No, True Lies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say that was the name of my cover band in high school.
Mushroom cloud over Key Largo.
We've
Tribute to
technically
Jimmy Buffett.
we've technically done that in Battleground America.
Yeah.
So we took that World War 2.5 game
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I designed for Beasts of War, and made a new map for it in
Florida, right?
Florida.
Yeah.
It wasn't personal, Bill, that the Russians kept coming in.
Yeah, I
through
know.
Key Largo. It wasn't my fault, man.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
There's
It
a
was
port
Key West,
right
right? They
there.
just did the hop from Cuba to Key West.
Key Largo and Key West.
Yeah.
They want Key West because of the Naval Air Station. They got to take that port. They would kick the door down right into Miami, but those hexes are
The Homestead's
take.
tough, man. Florida City. Florida City. You don't want to go into Florida City unless you're very well armed.
If you time it right, you get right there
Well,
after a
here's-
hurricane.
Yeah.
It's already
Here's the
leveled.
scary part. Somebody posted this, and it's 100% true. You are closer to Cuba when you're in Key West than you are to Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
It's
yeah.
legit.
90 miles to Key West, from Key West to Cuba, 150-ish miles to the Walmart in Homestead, Florida City.
That game went out. Well, of course, on our YouTube channel, but also on Facebook, and it was really kind of popular on like different channels in Facebook. Board gamers, war gamers, and there was a lot of protests. Like that could never happen. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you got to remember how close. There's
Yeah.
less water between Florida and Cuba than there is between southern Britain and Normandy. You know,
I
a
can be in
Russian
Cuba
commander-
in about 3 hours in a fast boat.
Russian
Just saying.
commanders would have to cross less water than Eisenhower did in
Yep.
44. And call me crazy, but the Florida
Crazy.
Straits is somewhat more calm body of water than the English Channel.
Yes.
I'm not a meteorologist, but yeah.
They're typically, unless you hit the Gulf Stream. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, did you get your boat
It's-
fixed?
What boat?
Oh.
They're all gone. I sold them
All
all.
of them?
Yep.
Yep.
All gone.
Hey, he's got to buy a
Aw.
truck.
Now
All
you
right,
did it.
stop it. You had gotten a bonus point and now it's gone.
But that
Jeez.
leaves but that leaves me neutral. Still at a baseline.
He's
I'm
like,
good.
just because they
Chris is
weren't
in the hole.
guns, like he's got
Yeah.
it on that. Yeah. So
Oh, we're buying guns? Hold on.
no,
Yeah, guns.
I had to go there. No.
Yeah.
Sharps 45 120.
No, I watched
all the
John
guns-
Wick 4 last night.
Guns of Shiloh.
Oh,
Ooh.
good call.
There you go.
And now I'm in the hole.
Not really, because for a second I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. So there's that.
I don't want to be that guy, but we got to be careful. There are rules on YouTube about that.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is.
that's
Yeah.
true.
It's not about,
There
like
is.
actually waving around real guns on YouTube.
We can't say that word. Pew pews. We say pew pews.
Yeah.
But I
the
did see
thunder sticks.
John Wick last night, John Wick
Yeah.
4 last night, and I
Yeah.
was impressed with what was it called, Marty? Dragonfire?
Yeah, the Dragonfire shotgun shells.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or not Dragonfire, Dragon's Breath. It's called.
Yeah.
It's fine if you're like within 3 feet and you don't mind never firing that shotgun again. But other than that, it's
And burning down, anything that it touches.
It
Oh,
still
it's
looks
gonna-
cool.
it's totally look cool and it's gonna mess somebody up once. But yeah,
No pew
but again,
pews. YouTube
shotguns
is
are pretty
watching.
cheap.
Yeah.
Right, Chris? Sorry, I turned the chat overlay off.
Yep.
Yes. All right, guys, we're gonna close it out. Chris has confirmed that he could be available for Wednesday nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't have
Yay.
appointments, so
And you
It'd be-
should be.
and we'd like
Yeah.
to see Alex
Yeah.
come on and talk about his 3D printing stuff. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean, I
bring
bet
the
he's
boy
got a
on.
lot of good
Yeah.
things he could talk about 3D printing wise. I only need about 10,000 Civil War guys.
Jeez.
Well, I'll even go with
There's a
10 now.
new Creality coming out. It's
I
actually
don't like
released today.
FDM printers. I only use FDM for
Terrain.
like big terrain pieces. If I want to do miniatures, I go resin.
Don't both of you already have the Warlord Civil War kits?
I don't have anything anymore.
Yes.
He's got all my
Alright.
stuff, right?
No, I don't have
Remember,
your.
Oh, he
Civil
bought
War
his
kit.
own.
Oh.
Remember, you
That's-
used to have it. I figured you either
Well,
had to sell it
when
or give it away.
when
I thought
we
he
had
gave
the
it to Marty.
glorious idea a year ago to
I
sell
don't have
everything we
the full
owned to
stuff.
live on a boat, everything was sold.
Yeah.
And then my lovely bride, when I brought the boat back from the Bahamas, got on the boat and just looked around. Goes, I thought he'd be bigger than this. And hence we never lived on the boat. So here we are in Tennessee now, a year later.
You gotta
There's
cut that.
less about that.
Into this
Yeah. it's
into this
kinda-
video. You have to cut that clip from
Roadhouse.
no, into this video right there. Talk about how big the boat is. You
Yeah.
have to cut that clip in from A Bridge Too Far. Robert Redford.
Oh yes.
What'd you expect? Destroyers? Put them together.
Well, you can either do the Jaws reference. We need a bigger
There
boat.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Need a
that's
bigger
good one,
boat.
too.
Yeah.
Just watched that today.
Yeah.
Watched that video clip today.
Or
Good
Roadhouse.
times. Or road times. Always.
Yep.
I thought you'd be
it'd
bigger than
I
that.
thought you'd be bigger.
Yeah. Classic movie. And you know they are
Never heard
remaking
that
that, right?
before.
Yeah.
And they filmed it in the Keys. We were actually down there when they were filming it last year.
Fred was in it.
Fred's in it.
apparently.
Fred's a
Really
tree.
outstanding. I like Fred.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for those who don't know what the hell we're talking about,
He's a tree.
there is a tree growing out of the
Marty,
old
you're the
7
tree.
Mile Bridge.
Cue Fred.
Fred.
Marty.
Oh, is that his new name now, Fred?
I think so.
So
He
yeah.
has been christened.
Chris says I have Buford's cab on my printer right now for the first day at Gettysburg. Damn it.
Nice.
Hey,
There was okay. I'm going to
Speaking-
tell you how big of a thinker I am and how
That's
grounded Jim
Devin and
is.
Gavin's brigade.
So,
Go ahead.
years ago, when Jim first came on the project, I was all excited. I had this, this guy who knows his historical shit, and we can do this, and we can do that. And I bought all these 28 millimeter Civil War guys, and I messaged Jim and said, "Hey, Jim, what? Hey, let's do like Gettysburg in 28 millimeter scale, and we can do like Little Round Top." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Do you know how big the battle is?" And Devil's Den, and
That's why
and
I
I'm
bought
like-
this box set was for that project.
yeah. So I was
Well, I
like, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, we can do all. It's like the Zulu project. Hey guys, let's print 4,000 Zulus. Nope.
No.
So we ended up printing 400, but
And I live with this every day. I just would like to throw that out there.
so I just want to say one thing. Warren
And I'm
is
not
not
the
the
only
only
one
crazy
with ADD?
person in the world that comes up with silly ideas. At least he has a team that can. His Battle of Hoth game, which was freaking awesome.
it was awesome.
You remember that, Jim? The big Battle of Hoth game that we did. So Jim can do his stuff. He's a wizard with the graphics and can do the the virtual Panzer Blitz leader, Israeli wars, all that stuff. I'm the one that goes, let's print 4,000 Zulus.
Hey, right now,
Well,
can
you
just
guys
buy
were
'em.
talking about doing the 80th anniversary of Midway, and I was
I
like,
know,
I was
but of course we
cringing.
decided
I
to
was-
move to Florida.
Well, even if
I
you
became
hadn't done
Florida
that,
man.
even I was trying. Oh, not the Florida man. Attacks like alligator on bath salts, and what else is going on?
That's how
But,
come the Russians never made it past Florida.
That game has a random events table. If you've ever watched the World War 2.5 coverage, and for the Florida edition, there is a Florida man incident that can
That's
set you.
hilarious.
Yeah,
100%
it reads something like a local Florida resident or a local civilian nearly incapacitated on several different narcotics and controlled substances breaks into your battalion HQ area and drives one of your AFVs through several buildings. Embarrassing, but no real damage done. Florida man incident.
Yeah.
See you the next phase of the turn.
A naked local man runs through the barracks with a machete.
There
That's
you
a
go.
never average Saturday night.
I mean,
Runs through the barracks with a machete. That sounds like a Camp Lejeune story. That's North Carolina.
Fort Polk.
Camp Lejeune. Those people are nuts.
Now, you did mention Gettysburg. We,
Yes.
Marty and I will be working with Steve Fratt
Yeah.
this summer
Yeah,
and
probably later
producing
this
some
summer.
producing some videos
Nice.
for his game
Awesome.
and Gettysburg Day 2.
So, Chris, that mat you're talking about, the 15-foot cigar mat, is the same mat he uses. So,
Yep.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right, so
Very
yeah,
cool.
July is just getting like really crowded now. Are those videos going to be ready in July or?
No,
No.
we'll ship them out for August.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
and primarily there to help him because he doesn't have any production. So
Okay.
we will be helping him.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. What did you just say?
You heard
It's
me.
there to help him out because he doesn't have any production. Who's going to do the production?
I don't know.
Who's
But
going to do
we'll
the
be able to get
production?
some of the stuff out of
You
it.
will film it. Who's going to edit it and clean it and
I was
graphics
gonna
it?
say,
and-
Who's doing the 60 for 60? 60 minutes for 60 seconds of video. The
Yep.
old 60 for 60. Who's the? That's the real.
Mm,
Steve just asked us if we could
I
help
walked
him.
right into that one.
Yep. Now, if you
No, it's
want
cool.
to
I think
use
it's
some
a
of it,
worthy cause. It's a worthy cause.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we
he knows his
we can
stuff.
help the guy
Yeah.
get some raw footage and
And honestly, like I said before, we do need more Civil War
what we want.
coverage.
Yeah.
Oh
That'll be
well,
cool.
he will give it to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what she
We
said.
do American Revolution. We like outside of Rourke's Drift, we've been skipping the 19th century almost entirely. We do no Napoleonics, we do no ACW.
Well, didn't we have a no Napoleonics rule for a while, Jim?
I say
You
we
and
still
I
have
said
one.
we are not touching Napoleonics. There's too much
can't-
Napoleonics out there, and we
the
wanted to go obscurity.
statements of Oriskany Jim do not reflect the Civil podcast. I hate Napoleonics, man.
Redacted.
I don't see the point in Napoleonics. You've got the American Civil War. If you want big black powder battles, if
Yeah.
you want small, colorful black powder, you got the American Revolution. I mean,
And we have the Old West. We have, the battles out in the Old West.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the Alamo. We
Victorian,
have the Alamo. Speaking of which,
You
did
need
you
to
guys
pick
watch the
that up.
Little Wars video on the Alamo? Very
No.
well done. Very well done.
Mhm.
God, those guys. They're like our
Yeah.
arch enemies.
Yeah.
No, not that Little Wars. The group on
Little Wars
TV.
No.
team.
No, Little Wars TV.
Yeah,
They're
No.
nice guys in person.
they're
I mean,
very nice. I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But it's like, why do they do this to me every time? It's like they have somebody. Hey, what's Bill going to say? Let's do that. And then they get it out, and it's really well done. And they have all these historical guys, and they work for the.
Have you
National
had
Park
your
Service.
house swept for surveillance? You've got a bug in the wall somewhere.
Yeah. I mean,
They're sitting there. They're sitting there in a van with a reel-to-reel out in front of your street right now. You know,
Dawn, go get the tinfoil hats, quick.
No.
they literally toured the battlefield of Islamwanda and then did their game.
Yes. Dawn,
They sent a dude to
South
another
Africa.
continent.
No.
I haven't been
That's
to
not an
Africa
easy
yet.
place to get to either.
No, it's not. But they have a really nice resort there.
You have a lovely time.
Oh, come on.
Drive your new truck there.
It sounds
All
like what happened
right.
to. Let's see
God's
if Jen's
sakes,
still
are we
listening.
wrapping this up?
No.
Jen and I went to France. She's like, "Oh, your boyfriend took you to France? Yeah, full paid, full everything, airfare, lodging, everything."
Oh,
So
poor
where did you
Jen.
go? Well, we went to a bunch
You
of
went to Normandy.
we went to a bunch of graveyards, and we saw some broken up concrete and some
Bunch
burnt
of
down
bushes.
buildings.
Hey, she got the full-blown castle tour in Northern Ireland. So,
Yeah.
you guys got to see all the castles. So, you guys went to Downhill and, all that stuff there
Mhm.
when you guys were over.
Well, Jen did. I was in the
Right.
studio working. Because
When we were in the studio, she was out, doing the touristy thing.
Yeah.
So,
Kiss the Blarney Stone while you're there.
no, that's in the Republic of.
You said Ireland. I don't know which. one
There's
you-
Northern Ireland and the Republic of.
Yeah. Well, you just said Ireland.
Well, when we refer to Ireland, we're talking about Northern Ireland, where Beast of War is located.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you have to understand, Marty and I, our only experience is Shannon Airport.
Well, that's your damn fault.
No.
That's not ours.
Yeah, it's Uncle Sam's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out I did not purchase a ticket to go there.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we're gonna start coming back slowly but surely, and so bring back some of that old Beast of War magic. The old audiences were asking for, so here we come.
Look
Just,
out.
just on our own.
Yep.
So
they've
we
been
can do
asking
things the
for
way.
miniature tables. We've been drowning our audience in miniature table lately.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
they've been looking really good. So
And then people are starting to say, "Hey, where's the old,
the old Hex Encounter games. Yeah.
So
Well, you kind
there's-
of made that your brand. Seriously, Hex Encounter is that's Jim's signature.
if you're if you're down to the pure history, the pure tactics, and the pure game, that's how you have to do it.
Oh yeah.
Miniatures, again, I don't want to crap at anyone's cornflakes, but miniatures as a medium has certain limitations that we've talked about a million times. But
Yep.
yeah, there is some more Hex Encounter stuff coming out, and we're doing all of Normandy in the largest single Panzer Blitz game, Panzer Leader game, whatever you want to call it, I've ever played. Not the biggest one I've ever built. I've built all of Prokhorovka once
Yeah.
in Panzer Blitz just to see what it would look like, but I wasn't going to play that game. That it would literally.
Jim, it might be more impressive if we actually understood what that battle was.
Turns
I
out he
can't
actually
even
needed a
pronounce it.
bigger
A
computer.
Prokhorovka, and we talked about it earlier. I won't go over it again. That's
It's the biggest battle there. Too.
10 divisions in one field. It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
tank
yeah,
battle
yeah.
that's ever happened.
But you did the big DDA with our friends.
Andrew Lee, or
Yes,
Bruce Lee
Andrew.
as he's known,
Sorry,
and
thank you.
Damon,
Yep.
who had that was one half of Gold Beach.
And that took
So-
you what, 6, 7?
That took
8
9.5 hours.
Yeah.
9.5 hours on stream.
So it's almost
and
longer than the real battle.
It kind of was. It's like the first 6 to 12 hours. So it kind of landed right in the middle.
Yeah.
Panzer Blitz done right is a pretty granular game.
Yeah.
So that was one half of Gold Beach where they were landing one division. Oh God, I'm going to get this wrong now. 50th Northumberland. Okay, and so move one beach over further to the west. You have Omaha,
Yeah.
where we have 2 divisions, and we're doing the whole beach. So you have 29th Division landing in the west. You've got the 1st, the big red one, 16th Regimental Combat Team, 116th Regimental Combat Team over there with 29th, with lead elements of 2nd Armored coming in right behind that. So really almost 3 divisions. But really, we're going to do like the first 2. And yeah, that game took.
101st and 1st Airborne.
Well, that's behind Utah, which you and I have done in Valor and Victory.
Yep. Much so.
So yeah, we're doing again the first 12 hours, or the first 6 to 12 hours of that battle. That game did literally take longer than the actual battle. The actual battle, the game itself, is all played because we're not doing this live. Why? 25 hours.
Yeah.
Ooh.
25 hours. And not all in one sitting. We did like 4 or 5 hours a night for like a week.
So we're going to put that out to the audience. When we do 25 hours of video, if you can make it from the beginning to the end, we will send you a care package. It's almost like doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, unedited,
The extended, yeah.
version. Just sit down and watch them all.
Director's gift cut or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out the show as we get late into the evening here.
Oh, we've
I
got
know-
16, 17 minutes left. We can make it.
Oh my God, here we go
Push
again.
through.
Look, I
Push
can't show
through.
videos like I did last time. I got spanked. Okay. And not in a good way.
I was going to say, you like that. So you ordering more Wolf Fun?
Yes.
More of the Zulus?
No.
Oh, you ordering the Civil War?
Probably.
Very
Yes.
nice.
And they have I wish they had World War II stuff. That would be cool. They could do battle bolt action with those guys instead of having to build the set. We have the set built. Didn't we do that, Chris, when over our COVID Thanksgiving?
I think so. Are you picking that up this weekend?
COVID? No.
No.
No, not COVID.
No, they
Well
left that
played,
at your house.
Hard pass.
Which bolt action set are you guys talking about?
We got the starter set. Which one is it? Hit the beach or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called. The one of the 2 starter sets.
101st versus German guys
Yeah.
set.
You know, Americans versus Germans. It's like being a kid. You had the green army men and you had the gray army men, and you played on your grandma's floor, and then you threw stuff and see who got hit and they died. That's how you play it,
That's how we used to do it. Or air rifles or pellet guns
right?
or something.
Yeah, we weren't allowed those in Chicago. So, but I can, Chris. I thought you packed it all away.
Not
Band of
yet.
Brothers set. Thank you, Chris. See, our resident Canadian knows this shit.
Yeah, hey there. Yeah, no, but I don't know what you want to try to grab. So
Well, I can grab the bolt action in the Flames of War set,
okay, good. Then I won't back it up.
and
And
then
Prosecco glasses.
I guess
I
I'm taking
know about
Prosecco
those.
glasses. Also, I'll take the mini switcher and the soundboard since you have the
No.
you have the full set. You have the actual production set. Remember the big case? That's the same thing as what those 2 things are.
No. You said you're getting all new stuff, and that stuff is already packed.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna unpack pack. So, all right, that's cool. I'm Canadian. We know stuff.
We know stuff.
Because they have nothing else
Good
to
job.
do up there.
Well, funny story. I have another friend who's Canadian. I have
Hold
two.
on. Hold on. Is that a long story short?
Yes. So anyway, I tease him all the time about being Canadian, and we start talking about, he's in the Canadian Army actually, and so I razz him about, what do you guys do? Patrol the wastelands for polar bears? Stuff like that. He goes, well, do you know why the Geneva Convention was written? Because it's usually the Canadians at fault. I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but okay, we'll blame the Canadians. That's fine. So.
Blame Canada.
I've heard that from a couple sources.
Is it true, Jim? Were they
heard
really
it.
that mean and bad that we had to make rules of warfare because the Canadians were not nice people?
I don't think it was because of the Canadians specifically, but I have heard that in some battles, Canadian infantry can get a little unhinged.
See, I have never met a mean Canadian.
They're not.
Always
And
very blatant.
then
Sorry.
there's a perfect storm of all the exactly wrong conditions, like probably being shot at and having IEDs
Plaid,
explode and whatever,
beer,
And lack of beer.
whiskey,
and
guns.
it finally breaks
Tim
loose,
Hortons.
and
Yeah.
99 years of politeness break loose in like 2 seconds.
Right?
Is
We're
this
stuck
kind
in
of
a
like
cabin for 9 months of the year in the blizzards.
They become decidedly impolite. Let's just put it that way.
Is this kind of like the Vulcan period of
There you go.
whatever?
They're
I'm sorry.
oh, you're testing my knowledge now.
Vulcan,
Upon far.
expert, Star Trek expert. You're the
Yeah,
Star Trek
Bonfar.
expert.
Bonfar.
Whoa, who's the Star Trek expert?
I know you're saying that. I am not.
Whoa, all right, we're gonna have to
I
have a
am
cage
not.
match.
I know.
Risky
Oh no.
versus-
Now look
Risky
what you
versus
did.
Oh,
Lodge
we could have
cage match.
a
Oh,
we
trivia
could-
night.
on a Wednesday night. We'll do
Harry
a
Potter
Trivial
trivia
Pursuit.
night. Oh, that would
Oh, we'll
be
do a
fun.
trivia newt. Trivia newt.
No history.
Is that like a
history.
fig Newton?
No,
or-
now we need a stuffed newt, and we call him Trivia Newt. He'll be the mascot for Wednesday night trivia
with
With
googly
googly
eyes.
with googly eyes.
Never gets old.
I'm gonna get so much mileage out of it.
But seriously, we could do a trivia night. We get, we get people involved. We could.
That would be very
Oh.
fun.
It would be.
Yeah.
As Chris says, we are known for being unhinged in combat as
Unhinged,
12th
I think is what he
SS
meant.
and the North Koreans.
He might mean South Koreans. South Koreans in Vietnam, they're the ones you never hear about. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah, the South
Nobody
Koreans,
lives?
they were
South
hardcore,
Koreans
man.
in Vietnam are
They didn't
They
play
were-
by the rules.
They weren't
No.
there, and we weren't in Laos, so I don't know. What to tell you. Cambodia?
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. Don't say it,
Every-
Chris.
so close.
Yeah.
Should we go for the 2
Marty?
hour mark? Who wants to go for 2 hours?
We only have like 7 more minutes, right?
13.
Googly eyes get 2 votes.
All right, we're going for the 2 hour mark. Okay, so let's bring it back to some
Dawn.
real hobby.
Yes,
Bring it back
Don,
to-
what? We only saw one eye there, Marty.
That's because he's walking to the side.
Oh.
I gotta make sure we get to the 2 hour mark.
Like Grover from Sesame Street. You're far. There we go. The
Anyways.
production value.
What were you
Oh.
saying? Who was saying what? Something?
I was
Nothing. You got as
asking-
far as "Hey Donnie," and that was it.
Yeah, well, I was saying, hey, Don.
Huh.
And I don't remember.
Alzheimer's is a bitch, ain't it?
It is. It really
Talking
is.
about more Oldhammer? Is that what it's going to be?
Alrighty.
Oh, hey, good news. I sent Marty this thing. I forgot the video that we watched on Netflix, the documentary,
On
the RAS.
RESS is the
Or
rats
the
of abnormal
SAS
size.
Rogue Warriors.
Yeah. Another season coming out. Or another-
Oh, the SAS, the Rogue
Yeah.
Warriors.
Yes,
Yeah.
SAS Rogue
I
Warriors.
thought he was talking about the RASSs,
No.
rodents of abnormal size.
E-I-E-I-O.
Right.
Yeah. Is that like a risky gym?
Yeah.
Haven't you ever
Yes.
seen that in A Princess Bride?
I know the Princess Bride. ROUS.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh my God.
See, now we know Jen's not watching anymore because she would have just shrieked if we heard us talking about the Princess Bride.
So I told Marty on Other Realms we
Yes.
need to do some coverage on Crisis Protocol because
Oh,
that
yeah.
is not
Oh,
something
yeah.
I am well
Yep.
versed on, but I'm
do
all
that.
about learning about it, and I know you have it.
And oddly enough, right on the paint desk, primed up, ready to go. That's Rogue.
Nice.
Nice.
And
Very
then
nice.
long stretch. Gambit, primed in Zenithal, ready to go.
Cool.
Nice.
And then at Adepticon, I got a tank in my swag bag,
Times two.
and then I won another one in a raffle. The exact same thing.
Hey, you can never have enough tanks.
Nope.
Yeah,
Ask
I
Rom.
guess
And
I
I've
know
got
what
one,
army
too.
I'm rolling with, right?
Literally.
Tanks fighting
rolling.
units. Yeah.
I mean,
You can
That's
never
what
have
happens
enough tanks.
Every Christmas it comes up like, what? You're the hardest guy to buy for. Do we get like my girlfriend or her mom or something? I'm like, you can always get me more 15mm miniatures. Well, like I can always get some Shermans or some T-34s. And the answer comes back, what if you already have one of those?
oh, one.
One Sherman
You're like,
or one
oh,
T-34.
that's cute. Yeah.
You buy them in packs of 20, man. They die just as fast. You just
It's not. Yeah, it's not an
Stack
actual
'em
one
up.
that I have to park in the driveway.
no, we're talking about
They're
50
only
mil.
this
Yeah.
big.
Totally.
However, we did know somebody who actually owned a Sherman
That's
tank.
true.
And we saw it.
Really.
No, we didn't. He had it gone by then, didn't we? We saw his
Mhm.
troop carrier, his weapons carrier thing. But yeah, we weren't there. The Sherman was already gone. But he owned a Sherman.
Hey, if you were at the Adepticon, you could have got the ride in the. What the hell did John have at the?
Damn
Dingo.
Alzheimer's got you
Dingo.
again.
It does. It did. Yeah.
And when,
John! Yes.
It's
when it-
Dingo.
and when they
Dingo.
fired that
Those-
thing up, the
Just
entire
ask, were
vendor
those
hall
his
smelled
tanks
like
or his
diesel.
dad's tanks?
Who, John's?
Yeah.
It was his dad. It was it was a father son
okay.
project. Yeah.
Cool.
Remember, that was one of the first videos we saw the guys do. They did it from sitting inside the hull because they had removed the turret.
Yeah.
Of the tank. They
We
were
spent half that episode talking about my market garden game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish you guys would have. I wish I'd known you were going to feature it. I would have sent you some material about it. Or
Yeah.
that's cool. John's pretty solid as far as.
Market
I mean, when it comes to like nuts and bolts and grease under the fingernails knowledge, like how the tank actually
Yep.
works, he's
He knows.
like literally unmatched.
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly on that part.
Market garden. That's an awesome
Market garden. Did you see Valorant Victory has a market garden module out now?
What? Oh, I'll
Yep.
have to get it. Did you?
No,
Were
I
you
was
on that
not.
one?
I did not work on that one.
You didn't do the crossing into the River Vol? Come
That's
on.
what got him the guy I worked with Yobo War Games. That's how we came to his attention. He happened to stumble across our Vol crossing game.
That was
So
a
for
great
all I
game.
know, he might have boosted my design and put. No, I'm just kidding. Lance, if you're watching, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I kid.
And that was a great game. Man, I'm going to stand on the bow just like George Washington is across. Famous Robert Redford's line from the movie.
Even though George Washington never stood on a prow, but
Now, there you go again, Jim.
that's
There
that
you
word-
go
it's-
again. Take my American history and just War of
You went there, you don't
1812.
know.
It's a lie.
We've
George
done
Washington is
done
alive.
Trenton here on the channel like twice
Yes,
in
we
Hex
have.
Encounters and once in miniatures. So
Can't we just have our heroes?
He went across on a boat. I'm just saying he wasn't standing on the front of the boat like.
But
an
it
idiot
was in a
getting ready to flip
painting,
over.
so it had to be real.
You know
This
what?
man's
Any way you
not-
slice it, we will cross an icy river in the middle of
There
the
you go.
night on
On
Christmas,
Christmas
Eve
Eve
and murder
and
you.
Murder you. We've
True
done
that.
it.
And we won that war.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
we won the one that count.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry about our
It's
UK friends.
up in the air who won.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm seriously. I'm not talking about the revolution. I'm talking about 1812.
Oh.
Because I'm
Oh,
sure you guys
okay.
are about to
Okay.
reference.
I'm like,
1812.
we know who won the revolution.
Oh
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
They did burn down our capital. I mean,
And
Yeah,
like
that
we
was
said
kinda
last
hurtful.
week, they need to do it again.
I don't know if there was a big win out of that necessarily.
I'm not saying it
for
was a win.
anyone,
That's one of those.
but they fucked us up pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, all
Yeah.
our invasions of Canada failed. Of course, there was the whole. I mean, that's where we get our national anthem, which is basically 15 bars of music about how the Royal Navy can't shoot straight. And it's true.
Oh my
It's true.
gosh, that was good.
Like 12 hours they bombarded that fort, and our forts weren't that good. I mean, come on. You're supposed to be the Royal Navy here.
And there goes our sponsorship by the UK Armed Forces. Sorry, guys. I guess we'll not be at Salute next year.
Yep. Yep.
So the good news is we haven't pissed off the RAF or the UK Army yet.
Funny you should bring that up.
Yeah,
Mr. Hall.
notice.
We've got time.
I just wanted to make sure we hit the 2-hour mark.
Whoa.
Speaking of gas,
Yes.
no.
What about him?
No. We need to get him on the show.
Oh, I
too.
agree. You know, it's kind of hard when you've got 6-8 hour time differences between people.
Well, and his schedule at work's been out of
He's
control.
Army. You know how the Army goes. Well, let's be truthful. It's the British Army. Here I go. They have kettles in their freaking vehicles.
Built into their damn tank.
Right.
There's a teapot.
They
That's
will literally
essential
stop
support
working to have
equipment.
tea.
Essential support equipment.
I didn't have a coffee pot in mine. What's up? This is
You didn't have a
Fort
real
Kentucky.
tank.
I
Oh,
did have a real
damn.
tank when I was at Fort Stewart. It was an M60 chassis. I was in a CEV and I was in an AVLB. M60
Okay.
chassis. Where's my coffee pot? No coffee pot.
Well-
You know what they did? They got rid of that stuff. They demilled it and they threw it down by Jim's house in the ocean.
Oh, that's not cool. You should have joined
No,
the
they
Marine Corps
cleaned it.
where there's the Marine
They
Corps
cleaned
where
it all up
inside,
first.
inside every one of those they call them AAVs now. There's a little ammo can with Copenhagen cans stuck in there. So as far as stuff that you're going to be jonesing for, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'll stand up for the Marine Corps like 9 times out of 10. The 10th time is, what the hell is up with the goddamn Copenhagen?
I mean, that's the only reason why the British won in North Africa is because they had to get to
Copenhagen?
the other side to get their freaking tea.
Oh,
Jeff,
It's the only reason.
we're not here for war. We're just going to get the tea.
Rommel
But
just
we're gonna
happened to be in the way.
But we're going to murder everything between us and it if you get in our way.
Monty needed his Earl Grey, and it was over there.
I mean,
hey, after you've had a good cup of Earl Grey.
You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of Earl Grey.
my
Dawn
favorite.
loves it. I it's okay. I will drink it with sugar and cream. But I like just English black or Irish black tea,
or coffee.
or coffee. I'm drinking an insane amount of coffee these days. It's like
Really?
all the
IV?
time. Not that bad yet, but let's just say my addiction to coffee has gone to the extreme where I now have a machine where I can hit buttons. It will freshly ground it, sift it, press it. I'll make coffee, cappuccinos, lattes just by.
It's not an obsession until you're drinking it by the 45 cup.
Oh no, they at work
Or
when they know when I come in to have a fresh pot there and just for me.
Okay, well, at least you got them trained.
At my
I am the
work,
CEO. I think I deserve
there's-
some,
At my office, the coffee budget is literally the line item if I'm here or if I'm deployed. Because when I was deployed,
$1 amount or the other dollar.
they did not know what to do with all the extra coffee at first. And then they didn't know what to do with the extra money, and they literally put it in petty cash.
I first got a job in tech. They had like free coffee machines on every floor, like those Keurig machines
Yeah.
or whatever. And it was 55. I'm not kidding. Like 20 different flavors of coffee. 55 was a hyperbole. 20 is not hyperbole. That's an actual number.
Yeah.
Different flavors of coffee, completely free. Have many times you want. One of those on every single floor. And after working there 2 or 3 months, you realize, oh, they don't want everyone walking across the street to Starbucks or whatever, for
Yeah.
half the day. They
Right.
literally want you, if they could have you jacked like the Matrix with a thing of coffee in the back of your skull, sitting in your cube, just crushing out data or crushing out code, whatever
Yeah.
whatever your
Yeah.
job is or whatever. That tech industry runs on that. That's where I got addicted to coffee. And when I say addicted, I mean like seriously.
So
Like you can
Jim,
tell if you're addicted to coffee. If you
I-
actually skip like a morning, you get like this blinding headache in the back of your skull, like
Yep.
this hypertension headache. You're addicted to coffee or caffeine,
So-
technically.
Jim, the important question is, did
Like
they
how it gets
figure-
close to the
Did
camera.
they figure it out how to jack that into your head and then
When I
Because-
left the company, they were
because-
still working on it.
I was
The
gonna say-
project had the project
I'm
had
willing
run
to
into
volunteer for that experiment.
the project had run in the project had run into some funding issues, and then there was a strike, and then somebody sued the company. But it went off the rails a little bit. But they were trying. But in all seriousness, they didn't want you to leave the office. They were like,
Sure.
We'll give you coffee for free. Just stay in your chair and don't look away from your monitor.
There you go.
Can I move
Nice.
the copy machine closer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
and-
one
and
on
with
every
the-
floor.
With the ad industry, you've got a lot of nice baristas. They hire baristas, full-on baristas.
I don't have
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of free time. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to them.
Just give me the damn coffee.
Just wheel around with my cup of black coffee. That's all I want.
Right.
That's all I
All
ask
right, guys, we made it.
Woo!
Little Albert, actually.
Yeah. Well, we kind of held up to our original motto of this channel. We sometimes talk about games.
Well, you didn't divert into food videos this time,
That's
like
true.
last night. We're Chicago Bears, so
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I did see the Tennessee Titan video where they did. It was still funny. It was still funny.
We don't mention the Predators, the Titans at my hospital. My CNO is she's a season ticket holder to the Predators, so she's got Predator shit in her office, which you have to go
Team
through
called
her
the
office to
Predators
get to
now?
my office. Or is it Nashville Predators,
Yeah,
right?
it's actually
I don't know.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's
I
Nashville
said, this is
Predators.
how little I know about sports.
And I'm like,
Florida is currently winning. I mean, South
I know,
Florida,
it's
like,
kinda
I don't
weird.
know,
are, yeah.
we're killing it. We're winning in basketball. We're winning in hockey, and I still
Yeah.
don't know anything about it.
why a Florida team is winning in hockey?
Panthers have done
It's
it
almost
before.
anti-religious or something. I mean,
Mhm.
Canadians,
have done it
what
before.
happened to you guys? Seriously.
Right?
Seriously. But yeah, we don't talk about. I mean, so when I walk through, I get like the itches and the shakes, because I see the Predator shit. So I'll go in when she's not there, and I'll turn everything around so you can't look at it. And then when she walks in, I play Chelsea's Dagger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So we had for
And bear
hospital
down.
week, we had a team jersey day. I sent out a message to everybody in the hospital, said you can wear whatever team, it doesn't matter, some kind. I'm the only one who actually showed up with the jersey on, but I represented it with
There
my
you go.
Hawks, my Shaw jersey. So
Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, so
There you go.
there
And
you
if
go.
someone shows up in a Packers jersey, fired.
They're fired.
On the spot.
They're fired.
Yeah.
You're going to night shift weekends only. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to report down to housekeeping.
I've heard of that rivalry, Green Bay and Chicago, and not even know
Oh,
anything
yeah.
about sports.
Yeah.
That's a bad one. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. I know we said it before, but we made it to the 2-hour mark. Thank you guys who stuck around, Chris.
Yep.
If you're still conscious,
Hey, Tuffy Wars or Tough
Wars.
Years. Sorry, Tough Years. Didn't make it.
That's true. I haven't seen her in the stream in quite a while.
No, I
Then
don't
again,
either.
it's
She's
Yeah.
down for the count. It's like
3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning over there.
But we can
Well,
talk
at least
crap
you'll be
and-
able to watch this. I'm telling you what, the Wednesday night get-togethers where we do trivia or hobbying, and
That'll be a
This is
blast.
gonna
Oh.
be good.
That will be a blast.
if that doesn't rock our numbers, I don't know what will. Outside of Jim's high-quality videos,
And we're gonna come up with stupid little mini games for in between when things happen. There will be triggers, and it's gonna be great.
My Wednesday videos are like filling up space. I do the best I can, but
hey,
yeah,
they're great.
roofing-
Yes.
And especially for me going, hey, can anybody cover tonight? Because I can't. And Jim now learns, he's like Tuesday night going, do I need to fill in
Yeah.
tonight or tomorrow night? Because, I need to know now instead of 3 in the afternoon.
It just helps if I put out like a promo ahead of time
Yeah.
so people show up.
And I apologize to people. I know I put stuff out. I tell you what, it's like yesterday. I messaged Dawn at 3 o'clock.
No, it's
and
time
said,
for us to stop the show. Right?
Nope.
What?
Go, keep going.
So I messaged Dawn and I said, you'll never believe this. I have to stay at work. We have a radiology problem. And I just start laughing at myself because I knew it. I said, we made a big slide, made this big production. We're going to have this big online thing. And what happens? Freaking something in computer land.
Murphy's an
Murphy's
ass.
Law smacks me up the side of the face. And I was there till after 7. So I wouldn't have gotten here in time anyways, so.
Didn't you learn anything about military operations?
If you say it takes 20 minutes, it's 3 hours. That's
just
usually my goal.
All
Yeah.
the
Never planned.
Murphy's Law stuff.
What I told my HR person now is she'll come in. Hey, I'm going to leave early today. I'm going to leave at 3:30. I said, don't say that. She goes, why? Because you're not. As soon as you say that, something's going to happen, and
Yep.
you'll be here till 5 o'clock. And sure enough, it happens. So
And for everybody out there, if you want a surefire way to get the whole emergency room upset with you, is you walk in there on a
Sure
Friday
is.
night and you say, "Man, it doesn't look busy at all."
No, it's the Q word.
Q word.
It's the Q word.
Oh.
You don't
It
say the
sure
Q
is
word.
quiet in here.
Yep. You want a nurse to hit you, more than one with way larger than necessary IV or a catheter that you didn't
I was
need in
gonna
the
say,
first
how
place.
many dice of damage
Say
does a
that.
bedpan do when hurled
Yes.
at Mach 3?
Roll a d20 for damage.
To not end well.
Plus 3 for armor-piercing bedpan, right upside the dome.
Who the hell decided a 6-gauge needle was a good idea?
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Dawn,
Bye. Good night,
and that's
everybody.
Chris, and Marty and his friend Bushy.
No, Fred. That's
Fred.
Fred. Or
Marty
I'll-
playing with his bush.
I-
We're gonna
I,
get
uh,
Oh God.
It's 2023. Don't judge me, Jim.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying we're gonna get demonetized. We're gonna get the YouTube thing kicked off for YouTube.
All right, guys.
I
I gotta
already
cut
did
you off
that earlier.
right now.
Big Duke 6 Eagle thrust. Put on side war up. Sing it loud. Into the Romeo Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
You are listening to the SITREP podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your